Good morning and welcome to the Utica Curling Club in Whitesboro, New York for the finals of the Murray Bonspiel, which is our men's club championship. 14 teams entered in the event this year, and we're down to the finals in 4 events today. We're going to be having A, B, C, and D draw champions, all of which will be seeded into the Mitchell Bonspiel, our invitational Bonspiel, which is a little bit later in January, second weekend in January, the 8th, and that's a 32-team invitational Bonspiel. 6 Utica teams get in, 5 qualifiers from today's event, 1 team drawn out of the hat, and the rest all out-of-town teams by invitation to the Utica Curling Club. Today's team features a match between 2 teams, one skipped by Matt Hames, one skipped by Don Knapp. And if you were to look at the draw board before the game started, you would not have been at all surprised to see either of these 2 teams in an A final this morning. I'm joined today by head ice technician Dave Mitchell and our web streaming guru Doug Smith. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, guys.
So first couple rocks under play.
And good morning, John.
Team Knapp with the hammer. First rock into the house. Takeout call for. Second rock now for Hames lead Jason Golubsky, and also calling for a takeout. Fairly simple opening strategy, getting accustomed to the ice. That one over curls a little bit and just gives a quick tick to rub by, so advantage quickly swings to the Knapp team, who calls for a split into the other side of the house. Kevin Stevens lead for the Don Knapp team with his second stone of the opening end. Looking for a draw into the house, top 8, even up with the stone on the right-hand side of the sheet as we look at it from our camera's perspective. Trying to eliminate any chance for a double. For those of you who may have been watching some of our web streams earlier in the year, you're going to notice a lot more curl in today's event than you've seen in some previous events. Weekend before, Roger Roulette, who's our stone technician, dressed the stones a little bit, gave them a little scratch, introduced a little more curl, and we went from maybe 18 inches of curl on a draw to a good 4 feet of finish, and fairly late finish too, David, wouldn't you say? Stones really aren't breaking that much till they get beyond the hog line.
Yeah, just about hog line seems to be a really tight pull, which is great for the skips. It's very predictable, but at the same time, definitely need to pay attention on that call, because if you miss that call, it's going to change on you quickly, that's for sure.
So Kevin Stevens' draw, they were looking for a top 8, went a little bit deep on the left-hand side of the house, so the Hames team elected to hit the high stone, nose hit, no roll, and Knapp will look to remove that stone, hit and stick. Second for the Knapp team, Roger Roulette. A real powerhouse team here. Here at the Utica Curling Club, we have a skips competition, a ladder competition composed of 4 rungs of our ladder. And at one point in time, every one of the gentlemen on this Knapp team has been on that top rung of the ladder as skip of their own team. So the hit's accomplished. No roll. Hames now looking for another hit, trying to bring the rock back towards center a little more to try and influence play over towards the stone that is now back 12 on the left-hand side. Jason Bryan delivering the stone. Line looks good. Sweepers are waiting for the break. Not quite to nose yet. Still hanging out on that stripe that you see going down the 4-foot line. So the hit's accomplished. Shooter rolls away.
I've got the jam there.
Yeah, struck stone jammed and just replaced it in the back 12. Knapp will look to replace that stone, top of the house, top 12, top 8, create as much separation as possible to eliminate any chance of a double.
Oh, Dan Baris with a beautiful takeout on sheet 2. Ooh, and this one's really curling, John.
It sure is, but they want some separation here, Dave.
Sure
so as
do.
long as they can get some paint, and all 3 sweepers working hard on the stone now, are they going to get it there? They're sweeping furiously. There it is, and just eases into top 12.
Great sweeping effort.
So now we're into third stones. Dr. Micah Kessler stepping into the hack. Michael, well represented on the plaques that line the walls back here, both on name tags from last year. And we've got 6 different plaques up on the wall for winners of our various league events throughout the year here. And right now Mike's got his picture on 3 of those, either as skip or third for all of those winning teams over the past year. So certainly an accomplished curler here at the Utica Curling Club, and he makes that hit with ease. Tom Everson for the Knapp team now looking to step into the hack. Don's looking for the hit, asking Tom if he prefers any direction on the roll here, actually indicating that he doesn't really mind whatever roll he gets. Let's accomplish the hit first. This stone's well into the 12, so it will be in play. It will be a counter if the hit's made. Good clean release and on line. Sweepers are waiting for the call. Don calls them down. And here they go. Stone's curling nicely, getting to the opposite side. They're going to get some roll here. And Don's going to move this all the way over to the edge. Again, he knows that stone's going to stay in play and getting as much separation as possible to eliminate the double. So once again, Team Hames is going to look for the hit and try and bring the shooter back towards the center line to try and bring a jam possibility into play on the Knapp counter. Actually shot stone now, which is back 12.
This one looks a little narrow, John.
It does. Sweepers are working furiously.
Oh, that's going to go right through the port. Yeah, it gets a little tough when you get outside like that. It's hard to get those on the outskirts, and especially with the ice the way it is, it'll definitely move on you, so you need to make sure you get on that broom.
He must have thought he was fairly close most of the way down, because at some point in time you just got to bite the bullet, call the sweepers up, and hope you get enough swing to catch that shot stone in the back of the house.
Sure do.
So now 3's in play for Team Knapp, and they're going to try and bring a stone back over top of the house, opposite side of the sheet, bringing play back over where it's been during most of the end. Just a light clean from Roger Rowlett, up and down. No drama. This one's going to settle into the house nicely.
Might be a little deep, John. Might be a little deep here.
Matt Hames steps up, puts the broom down, gives it a scrub, and eases it out and across the back line. So now the question is, hit and flop or freeze onto the stone in the back, and without hesitation the broom goes down for the hit.
We'll see if Matt can get out to that broom.
Matt's been a member of the club now for, about 3 years,
I think
Dave?
so.
About
3
3
years.
years now, and of course just a wealth of curling experience, having grown up in Sarnia, Ontario, and played on many junior and national level teams up in Ontario. Is now a U.S. citizen, has played for the U.S. national team.
This one's going to be another one that's going to be close. Oh, flashed.
Highly unlikely to see either of those skips miss that takeout.
Absolutely. And again, it just it's tough to get out that far out. It's almost right to the edge of the sheet. And then with the rocks as curly as they are, and the ice quite keen already, that's a tough miss.
Well, the other thing you're seeing there, Dave, is more of a control weight throw rather than the up weight, which we'd see in more of the highest levels of competition, where you just put the broom down right in the middle of the stone, you play the up weight, you know the rock is going to hold steady. There, a little more of a control weight, I think, hoping to get a little bit of a roll that they were looking for.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. It is a risky take with that weight change, that's for sure.
So now Dr. Don Knapp stepping into the hack, getting ready to deliver his first skip stone. Again, looking to bring play to the right-hand side of the sheet as we look at it. Sweepers on immediately as soon as Don lets go of the stone, and they are really working this one hard. Don's going to follow him all the way down. He pops up quick and gets right out after him, watching the line, watching the weight. Tom Everson steps out, 3 brooms scrubbing furiously. They're not going to get this to the house.
Doesn't look like it. Oh, another missed opportunity for 3rd placement. Oh, maybe. Oh, no, not quite.
About 4-6 inches outside of the house.
That's a great effort, though. Great effort.
They recognize that weight immediately and right down, throw the watches away, put your head down and start scrubbing.
And it looks like Matt's going to take a second attempt at this outside yellow rock here. A little bit more ice.
Taking a bit more ice, yes. No lift delivery for Matt Hames. You probably noticed Dr. Kessel uses a little bit of a lift delivery. That's a no lift delivery. Jason Golubski down hard. This rock's also curling, David. They're gonna hold it for a piece. But can he keep the shooter in play? It rolls all the way across the house, and Tom Everson doesn't even need to put the broom down.
All right, great opportunity for Don here to throw for 2. And this is where, John, it would have been nice if we had that 3rd rock in the house on the in that first opportunity. So they would have been sitting 2, shooting for 3. But
absolutely. So Don Knapp now weighing his options, trying to decide, is it better just to play the draw, perhaps use a stone on the back 12 as a counter, as a backer, or maybe to play a soft split on his first stone to try and bring 3 back into play. Looks like they're just going for the straight draw.
and that backer does make that cold shot a lot easier. That's for sure. I've been in that position many times myself.
Absolutely. You just don't want to overcook it and take the chance of knocking that back one out, because it's full 12 in the back, so you need to move it about a foot to take it out of play.
And the advantage is you do have that front to back, so you get a little bit of judgment. Well, they're not going to touch this one. Looks like it's good weight.
Just a little clean now from Roger Rowlett. Kevin looking like he's ready to go down, but still pretty vertical. Here we go with the scrub now. Want to make sure. They think it's in the house. Just want to make sure. Bring it home. No picks. No drama. Settles in. Top 4. T-line. That's a beautiful opening
shot.
draw. So Hammer makes 2 like they hoped. 3 was in play for quite a while there in the end, David, but a score or 2 in an opening end, not bad at all. 10 end games here in the Murray Finals.
Well played by both skips, I think.
On sheet 4, which is our B event, the Robert Kane squad against the Dave Schroeder squad, still in first end play. Sheet number 2, our C event. Team Schmidt against Team Sewell, also in first end play. And on sheet number 5, Scott Lent versus, who is Scott playing against? Brian Moore. Again, the D event is the losers of the A semifinal. So again, 2 very strong squads that just as easily could have been in our A event today.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, John, the Schmidt team, those guys, good to call kudos out to them. As all 2-year curlers, they're playing fantastic in this event. We played them yesterday and lost, and it was a great game. They played extremely well. So I'm looking forward to watching those guys.
Really developing very nicely, and a large part of that, I'm sure you'll agree, David, due to them joining in with our Open League, which is on Tuesday nights in the first half, where any 4 club members can put a team together, come on down and play against some good competition. You've got teams that use that specifically for this, whether they're brand new curlers looking to get their teams prepared for one of the many GNCC 5 and under events like the Kaiser, the Elizabeth Childs, or the Francis Dykes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Little bit of a brain lag there. Or teams that want to prepare for our own mixed championship in the Cobb, the Murray here. It's a great opportunity to play with whomever you want.
It really is, and they've really come to play, and it's great to see. Great to see. Good bunch of guys. Oh, nice draw here on 3. A little deep, but Perfect line. Matt trying to sweep this one out, and no, not quite. Got a sticker in the back there.
So I missed Jason Golubski's first shot. Not sure if the call was for a corner or for drawing behind, but there was an opportunity for an open draw for Team Knapp. They slid a little bit deep, and now Team Hames looking to bring this one into the house.
Golubski's first shot, John, went right through the house. Nice draw, but right through. This one looks a little heavy as well.
And not quite enough curl to get down onto the stone in the back. And that slides harmlessly through. So Don Knapp indicates that he wants a shot center line. Top four, Roger Rowlett stepping into the hack, getting to deliver his first stone here in the second end.
It looks like this one's going to be a little heavy, at least the initial call from the sweepers.
And Roger himself.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from this one. Hopefully we'll get the curl into the back, but it doesn't appear to be so. Maybe.
What did the ice crew do to this sheet?
Yeah, well, we're, we do have to say with the new ice plant this year, we've got an incredible amount of flexibility. And we're still learning the machine, but as we learn the machine, you can tell from the ice play, which is great, that we're really able to tweak our pebble strategy and give these guys some very keen, very curly ice, and that's really our goal. That's what we like to do. We play on the same ice as everyone else, and we trying to deliver the best ice possible and fast, curly ices.
So Jason Golubski looking to find that elusive 4-foot area with his draw. Sweepers haven't even been near the rock yet. This one's gliding in. Line is good. Weight's a little heavy. This one's going to go back 8. Don Knapp's going to get an opportunity to bring this one towards the back of the house.
Almost a perfect rest onto that back yellow. Only about an inch separation there. Yeah, ice is very keen. Very keen. If I had to guess, probably 25 and a half second ice, which is it's fantastic for this early on in the.
So once again, looking for the draw. Roger Rowlett, second shot of this second end. Maybe just a little tight. No, now coming out to the full arc where the broom was indicated. Sweepers just lightly dusting. They like the weight, waiting for it to come.
So it looks like it may rest right on top of the blue. No, it's going to slow right down, right to the back red. Back of the 4-foot. Nice shot, Roger. Perfect
well,
line.
If we had tiebreakers based on draw to center, that's one you'd want to take.
Yeah, it's going to be a winner. Okay, so Tom was just motioning to Don his estimation of the ice time. So my guess was about correct. So we're about 25 and a half second ice. So it is very keen for the second end. Oh, that's great. Good to see.
So Matt Hames considering his options. If he could tell over our shed mic, he's looking for the draw down. He's looking for just a through the house weight kind of shot to move the rock off of the back of the button. Says it's okay if it over curls and it takes out that top guard. Room by the guard. Now moving hard. Sweeper's going to have to go hard to get this by the guard. Will they? It is by. Now they have enough contact to move it off of the scoring area, and here it comes in. It is cleanly through. Nice roll in front of the back cover.
You know, John, and that's the advantage of that nice curly keen ice is it's really sweeper's ice, and it's really sweepers have a lot of control over these rocks.
So Tom Everson will be asked to remove this stone. They'll want to get just over the nose side so there's no jam in the back. Roll the shooter back towards the center.
Tom, a little tight on this one. A little narrow. Sweepers are holding.
Working hard to control the roll. Weight is nice. It'll easily clear the shot stone.
Oh, and a nice roll. Very nice roll.
Just peeks a little bit out the other side of that guard, and Hames will be looking pretty much to throw the same shot. Oh, a little bit of a change here. He knows the curl coming from the right-hand side as we look at it from behind the sheet here. Left-hand side as you see our view, the long view.
Yeah, it looks like motioning for about hack weight call here.
Back line to hack weight. You heard Matt with the weight call. Dr. Kessler, Mike Kessler, delivering the stone. They're waiting now. Called on. Moving hard towards the guard.
Well, looks like they're going to make contact. Not all that bad. They did open it up a little bit.
A little softer than the weight he was looking for. He's looking for the hack weight. That was more like back line, back 12 weight. So over curled just a little bit. Opened up the hole, but no doubt Knapp's going to look to plug up this hole.
Absolutely.
And we want to say hi to our premier viewer. That's Burgle Bunny. Welcome to our new venue.
Did we get the chat working for her, Doug?
Yes, we did. She got it. Mike said, recorded, everything was working fine this morning. We got a nice little test message from her.
Oh, fantastic.
So hello out there, Burgle Bunny. And Mike also said a special hi to Ducky.
Ducky, okay.
So send us a comment in the on the YouTube site if you're enjoying the broadcast. Let us know how the video and audio, if it's coming through okay. We were playing around with the video a little bit before. Go ahead, John. Sorry.
Looks like a nice guard. Yeah, nice guard from Everson. Really under sweeper's control there. Could have taken that anywhere they wanted to, but looks like they overswept it slightly, but into the house, just biting the 8-foot.
Yeah, line was really the critical aspect of the shot.
Yeah, Everson a little narrow on that release, causing those guys to sweep that. It's probably driving that a little bit longer than where they wanted to be. I think Kessler going for the hit here.
So Hames here really not as concerned about the double, looking to keep the shooter in play. He doesn't think he can cross over enough to get to the back rock with the top stone. Top stone will be removed, and the shooter rolls out into the open.
And I'm going to throw $5 down and bet that Don's probably going to throw another guard here.
I would say so.
He's looking at that blue rock.
Well, there is, from a strategic point of view here, David, there are two ways that you can go about this. You can guard your shot rock and hope that you do make a good guard. Bad guard brings 2 or perhaps even 3 into play. By removing this stone, keeping your shooter in play, then essentially you're limiting the Hames team to a single here in the second inning.
And it actually looks like, John, that he's going to go for a draw with the possibility of angling off that blue. And I don't know with that ice call. It seems that he's going. Looks like a clean draw, probably behind that yellow guard. And we'll see. Yeah, it looks like he is. He's just taking a lot more ice. Is what it is. Yeah, taking a lot more ice here. So anticipating the curl that we've seen through Everson's last 2 shots. Going to adjust a little bit further to the outside. And that's exactly what he's doing. Looks like he's a little narrow on this. Tom calling line. Oh,
That's certainly over.
Certainly is.
I think at this point in time, Tom might even be hoping for a bounce off of that blue guard.
Yeah, you're going to come right down to it, it looks like. Now it's going to slow up and slightly over curl.
That's a skinny port, but certainly a gettable shot. So expect to see firm weight from Matt Hames here. Remove the shooter, or remove the shot stone. There's a chance that the shooter could remain in play here, but with his other rock back 12, even if shooter does roll out, they'll still be lying too.
Yep, absolutely. And worst case here, if he does make contact with the guard, he also has a chance to double those two yellows out the front, but opening that wide open for prepping his second shot. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah, nice firm weight, as expected.
Mike anticipating the curl.
Oh, it looks like they're going to catch that yellow guard. So the guard did its job.
Yes!
Surprised at the amount of curl for that weight, David.
Yeah, it is very, very curly. And again, that's one of the things that allows us to do this new ice plan is really tweak those pebbling strategies so we can provide that solid curl. And yeah, by that really showed in that shot. That was really moving, and it really came over about 1.5 feet still, even at that weight. So that was quite a bit of curl. But the guard doing its job there.
And looks like we're getting the call for the guard again.
And calling for the same ice. Slightly more ice. We'll see what Don can get out to the broom this time. Yeah, he's out a little bit wider than he was last time, so we'll expect a little bit better rock position here.
Weight looks about the same. Sweepers are waiting for it to come off the yellow guard that's on the right-hand 4-foot line as we look at it from behind the glass.
Waiting for it to curl. So now this will be a nice rub if it'll just sit. Leave it alone right there, and we see it about the same position it was last time, slightly better.
Yeah, that's a better guard. There's
better guard for sure.
Shot rock pretty much fully covered.
And now I think you're going to see Matt make probably a hit and roll towards the button. Yep, that's the call. Doesn't want to mess with that guard. Doesn't have a clean nose hit on that guard to really move that shot rock at this point. So we'll go for the hit and roll. And just skinny that right. That should be perfect roll right to the button if he hits this one.
Willing to sacrifice that second counter in order to make shot rock. So final stone, end number 2 of the Murray Bonspiel. Big lift delivery this time for the takeout. Really firm weight. Sweepers down right away. Working hard to keep the line on this shot. Our angle is blocked. Can we see it? There's the hit. There's the roll. There's contact with shot rock. And
shot.
A beautiful shot for 2 from Team Hames.
Well played. Well played. I mean, Matt just excels at those shots. He's throws those quite well. And those angle plays are, especially when you can throw that kind of weight. That's what you need there.
Well, hard enough for us to get consistent, one consistent delivery, and for him to have the ability to use either the no lift delivery or the lift delivery, depending on the kind of weight that he's looking for, is really a testament to his ability.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just a quick update: the only score that we see, well, it looks like our C event. Schmidt did take their 1 in the first, so 1-0 on our C event final. Looks like our D event final on 4, John, is that correct?
No, it's going to be the B on 4.
Oh, that's the B on 4, I'm sorry. B on 4. Oh, B final. Boy, okay. Guys, I'm sorry, viewers. I'm really messing this up.
Yeah, B is on 2,
B is
C
on
is
2.
on 4.
C is on 4. So B final, Schmidt did take 1 in the first.
And in your C final team, Schroeder 1 point.
And Schroeder 1 point in the first as well. So no score on 5 as of yet up on the board. They are well into 2. Oh, they blanked the end. Okay, so
yep.
Our D final has blanked.
So opening rock of our third end here, Jason Golubski with the draw into the 4-foot. Kevin Stevens asked to remove it. Smooth takeout. Line coming into the stone very nicely. Contact will be made. Shooter rolls over to the right. Don's going to move it off the path. And so now are we going to have a hitting end or are we going to have a drawing end? Let's see what Team Hames calls for with this second rock. Are we going to mix it up? Or are we going to keep things fairly simple?
He may draw right down to it, I bet. No, maybe a little pushback. Hit and stick. Yep. Calling a little bit more ice, a little bit more control. Now he pulled it back. So. A little debate over whether inside out or outside in. Going back to the outside original call.
So a little discussion about what turn we wanted. The whole team is settled in, and Jason Golubski with his second rock of the third end. Sweepers thought he was tight. Matt calls him off. Now back down.
Looks like it's going to be a nice nose hit, John. Hit and stick.
Hit and stick, just a little flop to the outside. So there you see it, edge 12, no hesitation. Don Knapp puts the broom down, pretty much the same location, looking for the hit from Kevin Stevens. Kevin's just a really smooth hitter. Could just as easily be playing second on this team as opposed to lead.
Absolutely. And again, key here, make sure we square up and get out to that broom.
So here you see the angle as we look at it on the long view down the ice.
And Stevens appears to be right on line. Don calling sweepers down for weight. Got to call
a little
him up.
on the outside, needs to come up. Now it curls. Contact will be made. Shooter's going to roll out, David.
It looks like it. Now we got a stick.
It just stays right there.
That was a nice shot. Nice shot. Kevin Stevens.
So we're slowly running out of rings here, both to the edge and to the front as the hits are accomplished, taking away about 8 inches of the rings each time we make these hits. There you see the broom, here you see the delivery.
And now Hames here definitely calling for the roll towards the 8-foot here.
Absolutely. So look for this to be more of a control weight takeout rather than the up weight that we've seen on some of the other shots. Sweepers working.
Looks like he's going to catch the outside of that rock, so we're not going to get the roll in. Most likely clean house now.
So that path changing a little bit from the first end here in the third end from what we saw last time, getting some curl but not quite as much. Nice little thumbs up from Tom Everson to our head ice maker here behind the glass saying thank you for great playing conditions. Don Knapp with the broom down, now looking to take play to the other side of the house. Trying to bring play to the unfamiliar side of the sheet here. Although this is where we saw a lot of the play in the first end, so. So draw into the house, back 8, back 12, back line, and through.
Wow, ice is getting faster. Now we're about 26-second ice here. That's.
So a clean house here for both teams, and there you hear it, Matt Hames saying drawing in is okay. Let's bring it into the rings.
Sweepers don't really want to touch this one too. Just cleaning, now they're sweeping.
And I don't know if you heard that on the shed mic, David, but they called a 92 split time, which is usually about a zone 1, zone 2 guard. And there you can see that, yeah, that is a guard. But running a little bit deeper. Not in the house, probably about 4 feet outside the house. So a guard that's covering the 4-foot, but with the swing that we've got in the ice, all of the 4-foot's certainly available, and Team Knapp is going to look to go around this one and into the house.
So with that call, John, if it was assuming a clean delivery, we're probably looking at about 25 and a half second ice here. So that's great for these guys.
There's a man who knows his split time depth chart right there.
Calling hard line here. Try to
Really
get past
hard
that
line. Guard is certainly going to come into play, and now they're just looking to control the angle, make sure they don't drive that blue guard up in the house. The weight's not there. Hames going to just to move it up, see if he can bring it into his team's advantage, and perhaps look for a run back. So now looking for the draw behind, so the guard's well outside the house, and with the swing that we've got here, easier to bring a draw into play than to try and play a raise. Mike Kessler with his first shot of the third end, playing away from the glass as we look. Waiting for line to improve. Now we're going hard. Sweeper's really bearing down. This one is top of the house weight.
Oh, we're on the guard.
Gotta make contact.
Boy, it's really curling a lot at that light weight. It'll really move once it hits that hog line.
And really not enough weight to move the guard. So guard stacked up on the center line.
I think we're going to have a race to the house here, John.
Yep, Knapp now looking to call for a draw, asking if we've got a preference for which direction we want to come at it. They're gonna try and move around their own stone rather than moving around the Hames stones. A little more room to the forefoot on the other side, but not as much cover.
Now you see Don putting his broom down a good, probably foot wider than Hames' first call. So, oh no, Everson opting to choose the opposite side of the house for his draw. Be tighter call with that yellow guard up front there, but he can get around it. He's well protected.
And if he can just get into the right-hand side of the forefoot area, the way that the blue guards are stacked up, there's really no way to use those as a run back unless this over curls and comes out the other side of center line.
Well, sweepers believe this one's going to go deep. They're letting this one maybe wanting to hit at this point. Oh, just
thin by the guard.
And that was about a hack weight throw.
Yeah, just about.
Hey, Hames calling for the same shot, opposite side. Again, taking about a foot more curl. A foot more line call, I should say. And it appears Kessler right on the broom, a little wide.
Sweeper's calling out back 4 weight. They're going to step away. This one really swinging out there, drifting to the outside. They really need this to cut hard if they're going to get any kind of cover.
This one's also got a little too much weight on it, so they'll let it go.
So a little bit of an overcorrection, but looks like it's going to hang around in the back and does settle in. Back 12, so there is shot stone. Team Knapp looking to take advantage of a fairly open house here and again draw behind some of his own cover.
All right, so looking for the weight correction from Everson here. A great opportunity to get one on that forefoot if we can. Okay, throwing better weight. Sweepers are on this one.
Yeah, this one's going to make contact with the guard.
Sure is. Maybe go for the raise here.
Not quite enough weight and the angle's not there.
Not there.
So contact with the blue guard's going to move those around. Now no way for Hames to use those for a promote into the house. So Matt's considering his options for his first skip stone. Simple draw into the house under cover being called for. Jason Bryan calling that the weight is back 8 for this shot. Now sweepers are working. Plenty of room by the guards. Now starting to cut. Easily by the guard. Now controlling the weight. Where will it end up? Will it curl enough underneath the guards?
Right on the button here, John. Almost to the button. Full 4 foot. Nice shot by Hames.
So just a thin sliver of that stone exposed for Don Knapp, and they're going to try and play just a little draw tap here.
Yep, pulling the ice in about 6 to 8 inches on the call. Going for a little bit more weight here. See if they can move that around.
Don's coming back down, having a second look at the rocks that are stacked up at the top of the house to see if there's any opportunities there.
It looks like he's looking at that yellow raise, John. I don't know if that's a possibility there. No, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that call myself.
Or maybe he's concerned about the yellow-blue-blue.
It could be. Could be shotgun ready to give Hames an opportunity to raise that front blue, which I believe is only about 6 inches outside of the house. Might not even be that far.
Our games are not timed today, so no worries for either team about running out of clock here.
Oh, back to the original call, John. So we are pulling in the ice a bit from the previous draw calls we've had on this side. So about, looks like 6 inches less ice call here.
And you got to wonder if he's playing the tap here, David, or is he just trying to draw 2, cut down the 4-foot area, and perhaps be able to set something up for his next shot?
Yeah, good call, John. It may be. We'll see what kind of... he's throwing more weight, so it looks like he is going to go to try to move this rock. If he can stay away from that guard, it looks like they will. Going to curl enough.
Peterson pulling him up and down.
He's close. Very, very close. He's going to be successful here. Oh, almost. They just missed it.
So just the slightest rub on the guards up top of the house, and that shot now fully exposed. So Hames lying 1, Knapp 2, Hames 3 here in our third end.
And yeah, great opportunity for Hames here to very controlled takeout, punch that rock out to the left side and roll right towards the button to take 3 here. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm miscounting rocks. We still have Knapp with the hammer here.
Yep, Knapp has the hammer. Hames took 2 in the second end.
But
so looking to put the pressure on.
Yep, absolutely. If he can get this hit and roll and run one right towards the front of that blue, he really secures a nice tight little protection on that button rock there.
Because with the movement of the guard, shot rock is now a little more exposed, certainly accessible to a soft weight hit just to move it off of the 4-foot and stay right there for Team Knapp to take 1.
And I think at the same time, as you can hear him talking to his front end here, he really wants to try to avoid that, not hitting that rock too squarely, leaving the opportunity for a double from that. He really would like to move that a little bit more towards the center line. Well, it needs to curl here. We're waiting on the curl.
So it looks like, David, they're actually playing the freeze onto their own.
Sure looks like it. There's a little bit change of call there. And past the guard it goes.
So beautiful position. The hit's available there for the double. But that would still only leave a score of 1 for Team Knapp. So considering, do we play the double? Do we try and draw to get a little bit bigger chunk of that button coming on the other side of the sheet? They weren't successful earlier in the end trying that draw.
That's a tough angle on the shot he's looking at now. You do have the option of trying to angle raise that yellow, but that's It's probably more of a
The danger of
third-tier
that shot,
here.
well, the danger of that shot, David, with the amount of curl that we've been seeing here, is if it over curls, there is the opportunity to jam on your own. Although the way those guards are stacked up, I think that's pretty doubtful.
Yeah, very doubtful at this point. Yeah, and that's exactly what he's going to call, John. He's going to call that. Going for that double. He really needs to, he doesn't need to nose hit that rock. It would be nice if he can get about 3/4 of it. That should double both of those rocks out and avoid the jam on his yellow. And if hit just perfectly, you never know. He may get the roll on his shooter and score a second. We'll have to see where this ends up. Calling tight eraser, so expecting some good weight.
Yeah, he needs to roll full 12 to get that shooter to count beyond the blue stone that's at the back 12 behind Tom Everson.
It looks a little wide, John.
Don saying no sweep, no sweep. Now the rock's starting to move. They might need to take this one over the top. They're going to make contact. They're going to slide harmlessly over the top for a steal of one by Team Hames.
Yeah, slightly wide on that release.
So the momentum swings to Team Hames here after 3 ends of play. Here at the Utica Curling Club Men's Championship, the Murray Bonspiel.
And some score updates for you guys. We've got the B event blanked the second end, and looks like Team Sewell has come back in the third and taken one, so we're tied 1-1 there. Our D event, a big end given up by Brian Moore, now down by 5, so 5-0. Our D event finals. Our C event final, let's see, we've got, can't even see that far, John. Looks like I might have to get some glasses here.
Well, the score is 3-2.
Got some binoculars from from Doug.
Score is 3-2 with Team Schroeder in the lead after 3 ends. Opening rock of our 4th end, draw to the pin called for. That's been pretty much the chalk strategy here. Try and bring one into the 4-foot, then try and execute your guard. We've seen most of these go a little bit deeper than what the skips have wanted, especially coming back to the home side here. So Don Knapp will be looking to put a rock just in the house, out on the wings, looking for the corner guard. So that one settles in a little bit deeper. They would have liked that a little bit higher. Slides into the top of the house and without a doubt will be removed.
Yep, everyone still seems to be adjusting to the speed of the ice, so it's looked quite quick.
So curling from the outside in, looking across the face of the stone, shooter roll back towards the center of the house, provide some cover for the 4-foot area, looking for a draw behind later on. This one hanging out a little bit. Matt calling him right off. Nothing from the sweepers, nothing from the sweepers, looking to control this angle to avoid the jam on the back, and strong boom goes down, working hard to go all the way across the house and out. So just a biter in the back. Team Hames with shot rock all the way at the back of the house. And Team Knapp will once again look to execute a corner guard, this time on the other side of the house. Kevin Stevens, 2nd stone of our 4th end. Sweepers with an easy brush here. This one's well over the hog line. Now just looking to control the line. A little higher than they anticipated, but it'll work as a corner guard. So well enough out into the wings that Team Hames doesn't think it presents any real danger, so they're going to look to put up their own guard, center line, and then look to play something underneath later. Jason Bryan, his first stone of our fourth end. Taking roughly 5.5, 6, about 4.5 feet of ice to get back to the center line.
Oh, looks like he's a little down weight there. Sweepers are on it with Hames coming out to join him.
The really high guard, not so much Hames' friend here, because with the swing that we've got today, easy to get around a high guard and into the house.
Yeah, the tighter those guards, the better with the swingy ice, that's for sure.
So that one drifts a little bit over towards the 4-foot side of the sheet, and Team Knapp will look to take advantage and draw one underneath, looking for something in about the top 8 area. Wouldn't mind approaching the 4-foot area, but more essential to get under the cover provided by the Hames stone.
This one looks like it has a little bit of weight. Sweepers are definitely not interested in sweeping this one.
Just an easy clean. Now line's improving. Line's improving well. How deep will it go? It looks like about T-line weight, David. It will cut hard enough to get under cover. That one's still going to be exposed. Top 8, top 4.
Here we go, guys. Nicely done. Nicely done. Good patience by the sweepers. Really waiting on that one to move over.
So that one settled in nicely. It's available for the tap hit, David, but shooter rolls out exposed, so the play here is to call for the freeze. Same broom as we saw for Roger Rowlette's shot.
Looks awful heavy here, John. I think a little bit more weight than Hames expected. Not much we can do with this one.
If this one can check up, they might actually be able to be shot rock underneath the yellow, but they're going to get a little bit of a touch. No touch as it goes by, and this one's going all the way back and through the house. So an error in weight from Jason Bryan, and now advantage moves to Team Knapp as they look to recover from the steal of one in the last end. So 2 choices, asking Roger Rowlette what he prefers. Do you prefer to give a little cover to shot rock? Do you prefer to split the house? Four really good curling strategists on that sheet, so a variety of options to discuss for the team, and they're going to elect to split up the house a little bit. Good line on the release. Sweeper's working hard now. Looked like a little more weight out of his hand, but
it did. It did look like it checked up. Sweepers didn't look like they wanted to touch it. And now all 3 members. Should be a nice shot right to T-line. Nicely done. And Hames opting for the obvious hit and roll back here.
Almost looked like he wanted to hit and stay right there, rather than try and take the roll underneath the 4-foot area. We'll see what the rock gives him, though. Calling the sweepers right off.
Looks like this might be just a solid nose hit, John. No, he is going to get a roll here. Yep, he's going to get a roll right to the button. Below that yellow. Nicely done, but wide open.
So all of that rock exposed for Tom Everson. They'll look to make the hit, take the roll away from play. They might be able to take that roll the other way, David. It would have to be more of a down weight shot to control it by, the guard wouldn't come into play, but still, to get underneath the other side, you don't want to open up something through the port on the left-hand side of the sheet as we look at it from here behind the glass.
And it appears that's what he's calling, John. It looks like he's giving him a little bit more ice, so expecting a little bit lighter weight here in the takeout, like you said, a little bit more controlled. He would prefer to roll to his right side for sure. We'll see. The release looks to be on line. Definitely lighter weight. I think this one's going to be more of a nose hit if it can get past that guard.
Well, I don't know, David. I think, oh, no, they're
We
not
are
going to
on
get
the
by
guard.
that guard.
We are on the guard for sure.
Which is probably to their advantage, because if it had gotten by the guard, it was going to make solid contact with their second shot.
Absolutely.
So just a little corner freeze here, just on the center line side of this yellow stone. Normal up, the calls for a hit.
Okay, yep, they're going to go for a hit.
Hit and flop right in front. So get 2 plays from 1 stone here. Remove the second counter.
Oh, he was a little narrow on that, John. So now it looks like we got a good clean nose. They don't want to cross that face too far.
Sweeper's working real hard to control this. This one's over curling, David. It's going to run back and just make contact with shot rock.
Oof. What they were definitely hoping to avoid, but that's okay.
Still lying 2.
Still sitting 2 is not a bad place to be. All right, so Knapp here calling again the controlled takeout and hit slightly to the left to hide behind their high yellow corner guard.
Their last takeout attempt over curled, so taking a little bit more ice here. Sweepers aren't on.
This one's got to curl quite a ways, though.
A little more weight than we saw in the last hit.
We may only get a little bit of a rub. Just enough, and the
Just
double.
enough, and the double.
Now, plan B was a fantastic plan in that case. That
A
was
little
nice.
bonus action off
Yeah.
of that rock, and really a lively house.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, just that slight increase in weight definitely changes that line for sure.
So rather than keeping play in the center of the sheet, Team Hames here looking to put something underneath one of the corner guards to try and force the chase. Hope for a miss from Team Knapp and put the pressure on for another steal.
Yeah, Hames going to take advantage of that yellow corner guard.
And electing to use the one that's closer to the house. So really here, David, depth is not as important as line. Want to make sure you're fully buried behind that yellow rock. In fact, even a little over buried is not a bad plan.
Yeah, not a bad plan, especially with, as we saw earlier, the teams both struggling a little bit getting out to that far edges of the 12-foot. So.
And of course, if it's over buried, you have to take it from the outside in, then the roll off becomes more likely on the hit. So this one not curling enough to really hide behind. Weight was nice, T-line weight.
That was perfect weight. Yeah, they didn't want it too deep, but that one's going to be carried deep by Everson, sweeping it. 2 biting, full 12, almost exiting the 12-foot.
So now the Knapp team will look to execute their own draw shot underneath that same corner guard. Taking that same path, hoping to hide, knowing that if it hangs like the Hames shot did, that they've got something to use as a catcher in the back of the house. Pushing hard to bring their 2 back into play.
And boy, I wish we could show you guys. We've got quite the house over on 5.
I was
It's
just
been-
going to make the same comment. It doesn't look like there's a single. There's 2 rocks out of play here as Skips step in for final shots of that 5th end.
Oh, Doug said we can't show that, so we're going to take a quick peek. It is quite the house. It has been draw after draw for about the past 4 or 5 rocks, and successful draws on all of them, it appears.
So here's Don Knapp with his first stone, 4th end. Sweeper's working really hard. And now off. Line's improving.
Sweeping for line only here.
Line's
Weight
improving.
appears to be good.
And once again, nice T-line weight. It's going to get under the corner, not fully hidden with the amount of curl that we're getting here on this ice. So that's something that can certainly be drawn to. So here we go. Let's take a look at sheet 5. There's the view on sheet 5. Brian Moore throwing the Blue Stones against one counter just off button. He's second shot. Is there a path to get in there and chip that off? He's probably looking to play. He knows he's going to lose his shooter here. Can he chip that one off across the top and keep that blue on the other side? If he makes too strong a contact with the red, he could actually drive himself out here.
Oh.
He makes contact with the red, drives the blue, and that's going to be a score. 1 blue, a beautiful shot by Brian Moore to get himself on the board in the third end.
So Haim's shot here appears to be getting by the guard. I can't quite see it. Oh, it did not
rubs
clear
the guard, rolls into the house. How deep is it? That is, boy, that's tough to see whether
close.
that is shot rock or the one in the back is shot. Don Knapp, Tom Everson stepping up to take a look.
It appears to be. It looks like Don is saying that is definitely shot. No, not shot rock. Appears to be still shot rock, but he wants to get that out of the way. I can't blame him. That's a.
Well, this is his last rock at the end.
Get that out of the way, and if he should hit it clean, as long as he gets a good clean nose hit, he should count for second rock.
So a little bit of a broom slap there from Matt Hames as he realizes opportunity missed there to really put the pressure on Don Knapp, force him to 1, or bring the steal into play. Now it's a play for 2. But not the easiest hit in the world because they really don't have a lot of room to roll here.
Yeah, and we got to be careful of that jam. They could remove themselves if we catch the wrong angle here. So the sweepers are on this one.
Yep, trying to hold it on the broom side.
Looking for a nose hit here. Don't want anything underneath a nose hit. And nicely done for 2. Well played by Don Knapp there.
So good rebound after giving up a steal of 1 in the third end to come back, score the deuce in the fourth end, and take a 1-point lead as we move into end number 5 here at the Utica Curling Club, the men's club championship. The Murray Bonspiel looking to seed our entries into the Mitchell Invitational Spiel. The way the seeding works is your A finalists here become Utica number 1 and Utica number 2. The finishers in the B and C event, Utica 3, Utica 4. The winner of the D event, Utica 5, and then a 6th Utica team comes out of the hat and receives the bonus invitation to the Mitchell Bonspiel. Over 100 years the Mitchell's been played here at the Utica Curling Club. So let's give you an update as we move across the sheets. In that B final game, Team Schmidt with a tie game against Team Sewell after 3 ends. Oh, and now we've got a score in the 4th end. They've just entered their 5th end, so Team Schmidt took 2 points in the 4th end to jump out to a 3-1 lead over Team Sewell. And there's a team with a lot of experience, too. Bill Sewell has been a curler here at the Utica Curling Club since his junior days in the 1960s and has got some national level competition experience himself. So certainly strong competitors over on sheet 4. As we enter into our 5th end, that is a score of 4-3 with, 4-3 with Team Kane over Team Schroeder in our D event, which is, as I said before, the losers of the A semifinals. We showed you that shot by Brian Moore to take. Did he take 2 points there, Doug? He did take 2 points. It looked like 1 from our overhead camera shot, but actually 2 points for Brian Moore to kind of scratch back in, but still a 5-2 lead by the Lent squad over there on sheet 5.
They actually had a measurement, John, in that end, so for the second stone. So, welcome everybody. Be sure to send us a comment in the YouTube channel if you joined today's broadcast or any comments at all. We are not the one network, although we'd like to think we are. That's apologize. That's our camera. I'll play with that at the 5th end. So if you're wondering what that is, just ignore the upper right, or that'll be our new logo.
And Doug, I'll just jump in to say thank you for pulling all this together. You've done a
you're
great
welcome,
job
Dave.
with
You're
this,
welcome.
and I can tell you I'm one of the guys who really appreciates it when I'm not here or can't be here. Fantastic job, well done.
Thank
We'd
you.
love to be able to watch friends and family play when you can't, when you don't have the opportunity to come down
I'm
to the
glad
club.
you're
So
enjoying it, Dave. It's great. Thank you.
Good stuff, good stuff. This looks like to be a beautiful draw. Right past this guard if it's not going to go too deep.
Line is very nice, just peeks out the other side.
Not bad
So
at all.
available for a soft weight hit, but with it just behind the tee line, the plan here is to draw 2. Jason Golubski's second stone of the 5th end here. Looking for a draw to shot stone just behind the tee line. Left-hand side of the house as we look at it from behind the glass. Curling nicely now, just weight only, well by the guard.
Oh, beautiful shot. Going to be beautiful.
And just the lightest a tap to stay underneath the center line guard. Maybe about a quarter of the rock exposed on the center line side and moves the former shot stone to back 8, back 12. So both teams taking play right to the 4-foot here in our 5th end as Roger Rowlett is asked to bring his rock, a draw, into the new shot stone, which is just over the tee line.
This one looks to be a little outside, John. They look like a little wide by Rowlett here, but curling nicely back. I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Now's where it starts to make its move. Wouldn't be surprised to see sweepers go down to improve the line a little bit, carry it into position. It's just the tiniest bit heavy.
Not bad at all, though. Not bad at all. That did swing a good 4 feet back to the center line.
So we're really starting to stack them up here on the left-hand side of the sheet as we look at it from behind the glass, and now we see a little bit of a strategy change where rather than a freeze 2, because we're above the tee line now, we're looking to just tap it back a little bit. Team Hames looking to use that as a catcher for later in the end. They don't want to fully remove it, they just want to move it into the back 8 position.
Yeah, and for Hames, that's where those catchers come into play. Those catchers are your friend.
So just looking for just backline weight here on this. Sweepers working hard.
Oh, real hard line call here. Barely passing the guard. Oh, nicely done. Well swept.
So carried that yellow rock all the way through the house. Got a nice little flop underneath cover. So not exactly what they were looking for, but still a good result. And once again, we're looking for a draw into the top 4. So Roger Rowlett being asked to accomplish the same shot that he threw with his first stone here in the 5th end.
Again, looking for approximately 4.5 to 5 feet of curl here with the line call from Knapp.
Yeah, it took maybe another inch of ice there with the broom.
Sweeper's not interested in this one, so weight must be close. And here we go. We're on the rock now.
Now we're really starting to see the movement as it crosses over the 4-foot line, approaching the center line. They're going to have to work hard to bring this deep into the house.
Oh, slight contact with the guard. Just not enough weight there. Carry that one in. Sweepers there really having to wait for that curl there to come back.
So Jason Bryan being asked now to dial it down from that takeout weight that he just threw to draw weight. You see another 4 inches of ice from the draws that we've been playing, looking to navigate around the rock that's now just outside of the house, thrown by Roger Rowlett. This one not moving as hard as we move more towards the outer edge of the sheet. This one's going to come back towards the center line, but not get under cover.
And Hames having his front end sweep that as far back as they can. Does give Knapp an opportunity to draw down to or in front of that catcher. And that's the call.
That's a rock that you really prefer to throw a foot lighter than you need rather than a foot heavier than you need. You can unsweep heavy, and sweepers can certainly drag a house a good way on the ice conditions that we have here today.
Yep, definitely sweeper's ice. Need to throw that into the hands of your sweepers there.
So Tom Everson now with his first rock of our fifth then. And it's been an all-draw end, with the exception of the one tap back called for Jason Bryan. But even that, a downweight shot.
Oh, and these guys on this one right away. They're really taking the curl out, which looks to be the right call here.
Line looks really nice here, David.
Sure does. It's going to be nice.
Into the house now. Top 8, top 4, button, tee, and
beautiful shot.
Just back button.
And now shot rock.
Yep, fully buried back button. And now you see the change in strategy is Mike Kessler's going to be asked to open up the front, remove some of this yellow granite, guarding a pile of rocks in the 4-foot area.
And some big, what we call parking lot weight here. And from Mike for the peel.
So contact with 2 yellows and just machine gun fire through the house.
And now we have a completely different end, John.
Yep, top is wide open. Hard to tell from our angle, but I'm going to say that Team Hames is lying 1 here, Team Knapp lying 2nd shot on the center line, back 4, but maybe close enough for a measure on that blue stone on the left-hand side as we look at it here from behind the glass.
Could be. And now where the house has ended up, Hames here really with the advantage with the yellow catchers in place. Still an awful lot of rocks behind tee line, but an opportunity here for Knapp to draw down to that blue, the slight push back.
Just looking to reduce the scoring area. This is one of those shots, David, where you don't mind if you push yourself a little bit deep, because at some point in time to get rid of that shot rock, you're going to have to be willing to sacrifice your second counter on back 4.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're probably looking at a little bit more controlled weight here. Just to punch that blue through the hole between those 2 yellows. And that's the call.
That is takeout weight. Sweepers
nice
are
control, nice controlled weight, sweeping for line here. And it appears to be good. They are holding.
Yep, Don calling them all the way.
Looks like we're going to get the jam here, though.
Oh, I don't know. Really thin hit. And it slides over the top, a second shot, and that's...
Nicely done.
That's a double executed.
Nicely done. Still 2 blues in the house, however, now pushed firmly back.
And so Team Hames looking to trade double for double here as the broom goes down. Pretty much in the same position as Knapp had it for Tom Everson's shot. Look to see a little bit firmer weight here from Mike Kessler. And there you go. That's bigger weight.
That's a much bigger weight here. Rock's still moving, so they are sweeping for line here.
Yep, sweeper's working really hard. They're not going to get the roll they want out of this here. They're going to get the nose hit. Nose and through. It removes one of their stones in the back. Shot rock. No protection. Back of the button. With Team Knapp.
That was a nice shot, though. That was a very nice shot. But did sacrifice that one catcher. And now Don to basically call the same shot, John.
So maybe a little hard to see the blue on your TV screens, but what we've got is Team Hames with a counter just back button. Team Knapp with a stone behind the tee line, back 8, and then a counter just halfway into the rings on the right-hand side as you look at it on our overhead shot. So still an opportunity for 2 or 3 here for Team Hames.
And we'll see here, John. We're really positioned well. The angle as well. If Don can make contact with this blue rock and get the roll he is hoping for, he may roll right up against that corner blue to outcount.
So really looking to bring the force in here.
Yep, good control takeout. What he just wants to kind of cross the face here and see if he can outcount that second blue
Tom calls for the sweep, calls him off, calls him back on again, up and down from the sweepers. Now just a light clean so the rock doesn't spoil. Sweepers come off, contact's made, drives it through, and leaves it right there in the button area.
And I don't think that's what they were looking for there, John.
Certainly not. If anything, as you said, David, they really wanted to bring play away from their second counter to avoid the double, which is certainly in play here.
Absolutely, and this is where Hames' experience really comes in here. He's, as we've already seen today, he can make these shots with ease, and that's exactly what this shot is set up for. So if he can corner the shot rock yellow, he'll get a nice roll to that back yellow and clean the double there and sit 2.
So I'll be curious to see what kind of weight we'll see here, because we really have the rocks have been curling even with the up weight. Sweepers down immediately, looking to hold the line. Now easy, now hard. Line looks good. No, now they're called off. Now it's curling again, up and down, on off, and again. My goodness.
Again, a little bit of a disagreement there, and they did miss that shot. So there was a little bit of a line disagreement between the house and Hames throwing the rock. Caused a little bit of confusion there. They
just need a little more scrub to hit it a little thinner to be able to make contact.
Make that contact.
So still 2 rocks to play here in our 5th end as Don Knapp considers his options. Do we cover the 4-foot? And perhaps give another opportunity for Team Hames to throw that double. From the look of the broom, it looks like they're going to be trying to bring play over to the other side of center line. Get some separation on the rocks.
Yeah, utilize that corner guard that's been sitting there for quite some time here and sneak in between. Okay. Really take that the takeout away.
Little telestrator action from Doug Smith there, seeing where we think the rock wants to end up. Ideally, what they'd love to do here is get this rock underneath the corner guard as either first or second shot, but in a position so that any kind of hit on the shot in the back of the house would not be a counter.
Absolutely. Looks like there's a little more weight here. Sweepers are not interested in weight.
Now on. Plenty of room by the guard.
You can hear Everson saying line is fine, weight only, and it looks like we might be a slight deep here, John. We might be going through, and yes, too much weight. Too much weight.
That one slides harmlessly through, and now 2 is certainly in play for Team Hames. Yeah. A real seesaw end here as we've had more momentum swings on this than the kids on the playground on the teeter-totter.
And obviously the call from Hames here, the obvious takeout on the yellow. Nose hit here is really what you need. You don't want to even move that rock anywhere. Just nice clean nose hit. Should be very controlled weight expected here.
So just cleaning the line as he comes down into the hack, settling in, quick scrub on the stone, and expect him to fire right out. Not the big weight, no lift on the delivery.
Yep, should be nice and easy here. You don't want to fool around. You just want a nice, good, clean nose hit.
Sweepers
it looks to be a little wide, John.
It does, but now it starts to come.
And he may roll this out. Oh, he may roll this out. Yeah, he did. He a little wide on that one. So, again, the critical was nose hit. Needed nose hit there to sit. So lost that second rock. So Hames Rink taking 1 there.
So for Team Knapp, they'll count that as an end to their advantage.
Absolutely, they'll take that one all day long. One with hammers, not so bad.
So we've hit the 5th end break here, but unlike TV, these competitors will not be taking a 5-minute break to talk with their coaches. Just wanted to point out to everybody that the recordings will be available of this automatically. And I took a look this morning. We had about 30 viewers during the live stream yesterday. 104 views already.
Oh, fantastic.
In one day.
Wow,
in one
great.
day. So, a lot of people watching this, afterwards. So
And
never saw those kind of numbers on Ustream. So this is the
and
benefit of YouTube.
that was an event that we really didn't do a lot of advertising
Right,
for
exactly.
yesterday's draw.
And I think we'll probably see those numbers probably quadruple with the Mitchell event
Yep.
coming up.
Yep.
So that'll be great. That's great. That's good stuff.
Yeah, but to see, over 70 people watching that recording in one day, I mean, that was great.
Well,
So
like I
YouTube,
said,
they search on curling, they're going to stumble onto these videos. It's just great for our club.
yeah, it
great
really
for
is.
everything.
And it really is a great thing. And then we have multinational events here at Utica Curling Club, and it's just great for the opportunity. Again, like I stated before, it's just the family and friends that have no way of getting here to watch their family or friends play, and it's just a great opportunity to be able to watch and hear the call, and so we appreciate you guys watching. Please continue to watch, and if you are in the area, please come down and check us out. And we'd love to show you around and really introduce you to the sport of curling. We're all quite passionate here about it, as you can tell. And really, it's not just curling and a sport for us. It's really, you get down here and you end up with a whole new family. Great people and lifetime friendships, and just a great time. So.
Even if you're not interested in curling as a sport or league play coming down here on a continuing basis, we have lots of opportunities for folks to come in either for a one-day event, whether it's just a fun event with friends and family, or whether you're a local organization or business looking to do a team building event here on the ice. We offer we offer instruction down here on the ice. Use of all of our equipment. There's a small charge for rental of the facility, and then we provide everything else. And it's a great day. We can tailor a session to meet your needs. Our basic session is a 2-hour session, and then we can progress from there as your needs dictate. So opening rock of this sixth end was a guard, center line guard. I'm not sure if they wanted to bring it into the house or not, but it ended up short of the house. Team Nap looking to take advantage as the rock was slightly off center line to bring it into play under what is not really a wide corner guard. Now looking for a freeze to shot rock and just kind of skinnies up next to it. That rock should be pretty easily removed.
It should be. And again, Don not so worried as much about that yellow rock there, more so moving Hames rock off of that center line.
Yeah, a little bit of an outside touch to move that yellow rock sideways. Not the end of the world. Really looking to keep shooter in play. Split up play and try and develop a force for one, or actually his deuce as yellow has the hammer here. So Kevin Stevens, his second shot of the sixth end.
Oh, and he's a little narrow here.
This
so
one's moving hard. This one's going to make contact with the top guard, I think, David.
It certainly is. It's going to actually nose hit the top guard, which is well over curled. But we could get a little race to the yellow, which is now guarded. Slightly different end here, but not much change. Not too damaging. Definitely over curled quite a bit there.
Interesting play in the house there by Matt Hames, electing to sweep his own stone out of play behind the tee line rather than leave it as something for Team Nap to use later on.
Yep.
Stones behind the tee line, not your friend.
I've been on the opposite end of that experience far too often. And
No way to
definitely
improve
not.
that one back to center, unless some kind of crazy wheel shot
Now again,
develops
John,
later.
look at this one. This one is over curling again as well. So both teams misjudging the ice here slightly, and we're going to make contact with the guard again. The guard's doing their jobs here for both teams.
And over top of the blue stone, just out of play in the back of the ring.
So now a good opportunity here for Knapp to move this rock and split the two to avoid the double. So either side would be preferable. Nose hit would not be the preferable shot here, giving Hames the opportunity for a double. We'd definitely like to see those yellows split here.
Well, I think that Don really does want to roll away. What he was asking Roger there was which turn he preferred to take. Roger saying, I prefer the out turn. Or excuse me, in turn for him.
Yeah, and this one sweeping to stay on the outside of that rock. We do not want the nose hit here. And well played.
So a little bit of cover provided by the blue stone just outside the house. Not really a true corner guard. We'd want it to be a little bit deeper under cover. So now just a lighter weight hit to move the yellow out, bring the shooter back over to the center.
So we just wanted to let you know, for those of you who might be tuning in, interested in the other games, the scoreboard you just saw on the screen is up to date. So in our B event final, the Sewell rink just cracking back with a 3 in the last end to take a 1-rock lead, but still a tight game over there in our B event final.
I'm telling you again, kudos to the Schmidt rink. Second-year curlers and playing quite the experienced team and holding their own. It's great to see.
So the hits made, roll was not controlled all the way across the house, used all 12 feet of the rings there, and rolling through, and now Don saying, let's take advantage, bring another rock into play as far away from our shot rock as we possibly can. Roger Rowlett. Second stone of the 6th end, being asked for a draw under cover.
Sweepers are in the middle here. Oh, now they're on it. Line is cutting hard. Got to get it past that guard. Sweepers sweeping hard. Contact made with the guard.
So what Don was looking for there, he knew he wasn't going to get by the guard, so what he was actually looking to do there was to keep the energy level up as much as he could to split the shooter back onto the rings. Unfortunately, as the rock was dying, it did roll back towards the rings, but didn't quite make it onto the paint, and now shot rock will be removed by Dr. Mike Kessler.
And this looks like this is going to be a good clean nose hit here, John. Oh, and
good
it got
contact,
slight roll.
A little bit of a roll.
Yeah, not too bad. Not as much as they wanted to try to get to go underneath that yellow corner guard, but still a nice hit and roll to clear the center.
Not fully under cover, but not exposed enough for Team Knapp to be able to take advantage and roll underneath that corner guard.
Yep, so you see Knapp calling for either roll, preferably not a nose hit here again. Want to really make sure that those yellows are separated to avoid that double.
Tom Everson with his first rock here of the 6th end.
And again, you can tell here by the ice, Knapp is putting down. We're looking for a slightly lighter weight takeout here. So again, you can see the rock is off. Down weight takeout here. Looking to probably hit and roll to Knapp's right. Well played. Well played shot.
So may have wanted a little bit of a higher roll to bring the rock that's just off of the rings into play as a jam opportunity. That's not going to happen. Really no way for that yellow rock to make contact with the one on the edge.
Nope, Kessler's rock off. Looks again to be a good clean nose hit here. Slight roll out. Stone sticks in the 12-foot.
And he gets to take advantage of that of the rock that's just off the rings.
So Knapp calling Everson for a little bit more weight here on this takeout than he threw the last. As you said, John, to take advantage of this double here.
They really need the shooter to stay in play here to have an opportunity for 2, David.
They sure do. It's going to be, again, line is going to be critical here to make sure this is a nose hit.
Weight looks good. Sweepers on and off.
Going to be...
Contact's made a little and just slides it by.
Just slides it by.
But actually, they wanted to keep that blue back there. They did not want to lose that blue because, once again, if the jam comes into play here that yellow will still be on the rings.
It sure will. It sure will.
So Don and Mike enjoying a little bit of a conversation here about the way the Rocks are running. Maybe placing their bar orders for later.
Well, they could be cursing my name as well. Oh, and now, as you heard, this is a heavy line call here because this one is narrow out of Hames' hand and will be close, and it appears to be a miss. So flash takeout again on the outside rings from Hames.
No more than 1/8 of an inch between the running rock and the rock they are shooting for, and it slides by, and now 2 is certainly in play for Team Knapp.
I think that one was so close, John. I think we heard a little thunderclap between the pressure between those rocks. There wasn't much there.
So looking to draw behind the corner on the other side of the house. Don reminding Tom Everson that there is an opportunity for a plan B here if it overcuts, to play a little bit of a split and perhaps even bring 3 into play.
Absolutely. This is a great opportunity for that, should it happen.
I doubt that's their first plan, but you need to look at all contingencies, all possibilities.
Absolutely, especially on this line. We've already seen a number of rocks over curl, and the guards take stones out of play here, so. Now an Everson line call is straight down the center line. Knapp right on the broom. Weight appears to be good. Sweepers.
Yep, asking about the weight call.
Now all line here. It appears we're going to be by and deep. No, we did make contact, so there we go. As you said, John, now we have 3 rocks in the house, so a little bit of a tap did move that corner guard into play. So that really did cut at the end. They're really, really moving, even at that little bit heavier weight. Now Hames with some opportunity here. If you do skinny this shot sitting on the 4-foot, you do have an opportunity to roll your rock towards the outside yellow in both cases. But more importantly here, for rocks 1 and 2, see Hames deciding.
Well, what Hames is looking at here, David,
is
he's trying to decide, do they hit the one at the top of the house that Don just threw in order to roll to shot rock, or do we hit shot rock to roll to the second counter? And the election is made to hit shot rock, move to the second counter.
An advantage Knapp here. If the roll is not successful,
then 3 is
we're still sitting 3 in play. Oh, sweepers are on this one. A little bit of a disagreement. This is going to be good.
There's the roll, and
it's missed.
Under the bottom.
So now Knapp here with an opportunity to just hit paint. Just need paint here for 3. So with no backers in play, this is really a skip, sweeper, stone here. This is why the skips get paid the big bucks, John.
And to take 3 points in the even end here,
Yeah.
But still, remember, folks, unlike most of our games, this is a 10-end game, so still plenty of opportunity, even after dropping 3 for Team Hames to come back into this game.
Oh, and the sweepers are right on top of this one, so there's a feeling that this is not going to have enough weight.
Yeah, Tom Everson immediately coming out of the house to add the 3rd broom to this shot.
Oh, no, correction here, so now it looks front to back, so they've decided they have enough, and it appears it will stick. Maybe not. Oh,
a little bit of drama there.
A little bit. No, it will stick around.
So now Don will ask him, well, what did you see there? What did you see there that nobody else saw?
Knapp rolling his eyes a little bit there. He got a little nervous.
So after the completion of 6 ends, Team Knapp jumps out to what will now be a score of 7-4 over Team Hames.
And Roger Rowlett looking up, giving us a good solid laugh on that one. I think making everybody nervous. That one will be discussed at the table, I'm sure.
Without a doubt. So Kevin Stevens now settling into the hack for his first stone of our 7th end. Once again, welcome to the Utica Curling Club, Whitesboro, New York. This is the Men's Club Championship, the Murray Bonspiel, which seeds our entries into the Mitchell Bonspiel the weekend of January the 8th.
And Kevin Stevens with his first rock off. Looking for a center line guard. Sweepers are on this one. Line looks good. And again, as John referenced before, you really want tighter guards here with as curly and as fast as the ice is. Higher guards really aren't going to protect much for you. You can really curl around those higher guards. So a nice
for the last
mid-range guard.
For the last foot of that rock, it was pretty much moving at a 45-degree angle. It got about a foot left to right for the same foot that it traveled down the ice, David.
It sure did. It
So,
really
strong
did spin.
finish.
Yeah, strong finish on that one. And this one from Golubsky is going to make contact with the guard. Actually, nose hit the guard. Don coming out, possibly raised to count, and not quite.
Not quite.
And we're still in guard position there. Free guard zone, still in play.
So with 2 guards up front, Don Knapp's going to take play right into the 4-foot, and we haven't seen either of these skips hesitate to bring play into the 4-foot. Some of our early ends were cleaner ends, but since about the 3rd end on, they've really been mixing it up hard.
The sweeper's saying weight is good, line only, and they're on it. Don calling heavy line here. Looks like we are going to make contact with the guard here, John.
So where we saw 2 ends ago, some of our stones flattening out a little bit and not curling as much as we anticipated out on the far left-hand side of the sheet. Because you remember in the first end, Dave, we had quite a few of takeout attempts over curl. Then we saw the curl lessen up a little bit. Now it seems like the curl's starting to come back in.
Yep, coming to ease back in a little bit, especially with the right weight. You will definitely see those rocks move right past the hog line. They begin to really whip. So need to make sure that call happens early. Now Golubsky going after a draw again, a little bit further out with the Hames line call here.
Yeah, mid-12 for the broom to bring the rock back to the 4-foot. A little bit tight on his release. And light. Light and tight, not a good combination on swingy ice.
Yep, and this one's going to make contact with that yellow guard.
Not enough weight to push it into the house.
All right, we got quite the shotgun there, though, for the Knapp rink. All right, Knapp is going to call another draw in. Doesn't want this one deep. We're looking at full 12-foot, maybe a biter of the 8, but they don't want to go much deeper than that at this point.
Dr. Roger Rowlett in the hack, ready to deliver.
Oh, so you're already taking some first.
We got to give Roger his props too, right? He worked hard for that degree.
Absolutely. Yeah, he sure did. And this one appears to be a little wide, John, a little bit wider than I want. They're really waiting.
And now's
the
where it
curl
starts
here.
to move sideways.
Here it goes. So this one's going to land
A little
not
bit of a rub.
exactly
No rub.
not exactly where he wanted it, but a little bit deeper than he wanted. But Don's going to sweep him back to get behind coverage. Does give Hames an opportunity to draw down to that one. And that's the call here, I believe.
So starting to stack rocks up in a similar fashion to as we saw in the 5th end the last time we headed down to the scoreboard side. Sweepers with a light scrub, now moving hard. Really have to go now.
Yeah, sweeping for line here. Weight looks good, but line is very, very tight. And we eke
By
past
one
that
guard,
Oh,
by
little
2
rub.
guards.
Just a little rub, but it didn't affect it. Perfect. A little push back. even though Knapp is sitting 1, that rock is exposed to some degree. So Knapp is going to call a little bit of a guard right on the 4-foot line to protect that investment there.
Scoreboard's been updated. We'll have an update for you. They just completed the 5th end over there on sheet 5 in the D event final. But as you can see, both the B and C games are both all tied up. So great games all around here this morning.
So now back to our featured event on sheet 3, our championship sheet here at the Utica Curling Club. Yellow stones on sheet number 3 engraved with the names of past presidents throughout the years here at the Curling Club. Talking to one of our former presidents, Bill Sewell, who's out on the ice now on sheet number 2, asking about some of the history of this event, and he tells me that George Murray, from what he tells me, the sponsoring name of this event, was quite the competitive curler in his day, and one of the forces that really helped to bring the Mitchell Bonspiel back to glory back in the late 60s. I guess there was a time when the Mitchell was not as well received, not as well as attended as it is now, and really brought back into the forefront as a GNCC event.
So Roulette's shot, John, a little bit wider than he thought, but it did come back unexpectedly. So right where Knapp had originally called it. So that was a well-placed rock there. And now Hames looking to move a little bit of granite here. A little bit heavier draw. Make contact with their own blue. And that one is narrow and turning quickly. They're going to be all over this guard, but it is a shotgun in favor of Knapp.
In favor of Knapp, stacked right up, and that's going to bring it into the house.
Going to shoot that one straight through. We're going to get there, not quite enough, but now really leaving that those 2 yellows in the house for the Knapp rink wide open at this point. Strong possibility for a double here, so he's most likely going to call a guard or a rub guard. There's the call there. One way or the other, he needs to block that port to really protect those assets there. That's wide open at this point.
Yeah, and the reason why he doesn't mind a little bit of a touch here is because with some of the shooters that Hames has on his team, even though it's a long run back, there is a run back available on the blue rock all the way on the left-hand side of the sheet as we look at that camera view.
Yep, absolutely. The shot is definitely there. And we still have that port open on the right side as well, but right now, either the obvious is to guard that port up. That is a wide open port.
Tom Everson with the delivery.
Yeah, and it looks to be good weight. They are waiting. It looks a little bit heavier than they'd like. It looks like Don is probably going to play for the tick here. You want to slow this down. You don't want it too deep. Oh, and that one's going to come in anyway. And that's not all that bad. That does block his ability to take that double. So it did its job. Not exact the placement they were looking for, but...
Well, also took away the run back, David. The way
sure
that's
did.
stacked underneath that blue rock, there's no opportunity for a run back there, and now we're going to look for a clearing shot up front.
Yeah, now we're going to see Kessler throw some more weight here and really move some things around. If he can catch the outside... he's got a chance to really move some stuff here and change the way the house looks here.
May even be able to drive the yellow onto the blue and then blue onto yellow and promote his own rock, which is
and
top 8 now.
What's going to happen, John, I believe. Oh, not quite, but did move some things around, so it appears to be now yellow still shot rock, but now Hames' second rock in the center of the 8-foot. But wide open.
Yes! Come on, get some distance between those. Take it.
And speaking of former President Sewell, you just heard him there.
On the sheet closest to the mic, and it wouldn't matter what sheet Bill Sewell was on, we'd be able to hear him very clearly over our shed mic.
That's for sure. That's for sure. He's definitely a loud one. All right, and Knapp here going to call for the center line guard. And in this particular case, higher is better.
the hits available to him, but really respecting the ability of the Hames team to make those doubles here on this ice and electing to protect their own shot rock rather than remove the second counter.
And you can see the real lightweight here thrown by Everson, really wanting to make sure that this is a guard and not coming in deep. And it may still come a little deeper than they would like.
I think so.
That line is good.
That's going to finish leaving the blue rock exposed for a run back for Team Hames.
It sure is. And that one is definitely coming deeper and over curling. And Hames going for that raise takeout.
I don't think they're going to play the takeout here, Dave. I think they're just looking for a simple raise.
Yeah,
They
you're
want to
right.
stack
Just
up
tap.
the blues because they don't want to lose that yellow, because then it gives Knapp the opportunity to throw a double of their own.
Yep, that's true. Keep that catcher in play. Good call, John. Nice, easy raise here. You got to be patient on the line. Line's a little wide here.
And patient on the strategy. No need to really remove a lot of rocks at this point in time. Third stone, still some
They may
rocks
get a
to
tick
play.
here, though, John. They may get a tick off of that guard, and it worked out anyway. Oh, and pushed themselves out, though, with that tick. Really changed the end there for them. No. Now Knapp sitting 1-2, and Hames sitting third rock.
So 1, 2, and 4 for Team Knapp. Third rock pretty well protected.
And I believe Knapp is probably telling Everson now, my kingdom for a guard.
Absolutely.
We need center line guard. Slightly off center would be good as well, but definitely need a guard here.
And doesn't need to be in the house.
And you can see Knapp learning from Everson's last rock, taking much more ice than on the previous call. That one did over curl, though a little heavy. I think this ice will do a little bit better here for a center line guard as long as the weight's correct. So Knapp will have to make sure that he throws good guard weight here.
And with the rocks that are at the top of the house, really either side of center line works to his advantage.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
making sure that some portion of his rock is in contact with the center line is all they're looking for here.
Oh, and he appears to be a little narrow, John. And up weight. You hear Rowlett from the front end calling all there. Guys patiently waiting for the curl.
And now it's coming hard. Weight's better. Still no sweep.
I believe it's a little deeper, but still going to do its job. No, well, that's a well-placed guard. A little bit deeper than I'd like.
That one reversed.
Oh, and Hames is going to try to get one through this port. The port is there, but that is going to be a tough shot.
So soft rotation from Don Knapp. The stone actually reversed its turn on the way down the ice. It worked to his advantage. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. In that case, when you lose the handle, Dave, you start changing rotation. Speed comes off the rock pretty quickly.
Absolutely. And there is a chance to get this through here. Now you're going to see some big weight thrown here. It's going to need to keep that line true, and you're going to see some sweepers running along next to this rock to make sure that stays true.
But even if he does make the clean takeout through the port, that still leaves Knapp a shot rock.
Sure does, but he's going to catch the guard, so the guard does its job here. Oh, just barely misses. Shot rock.
Do you really think the wiggle through was part of the plan, David?
With Hames, you just never know. Again, his experience is obviously showing on the sheet today, that's for sure.
So Knapp's still laying 2, but now a little more, or Knapp's still laying 2, but the front of the house a little more wide open to give Hames an opportunity with his last rock to at least score 1.
So you see Knapp now adjusting the ice call again, slightly less, not much less than what was previously called. But again, weight is really going to be the critical one here. We know the line has been pretty predictable thus far. Really need guard weight here for sure.
Oh, and a big, big end on sheet number 2 as the Sewell rink takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points in the 7th end, and that's a decisive swing.
Sure is, John. And this rock from Knapp appears to be heavy, so they're hoping for the rub on this yellow to slow it down, but it is not going to slow down. They're going to end up removing or pushing. Not too bad, but leaving a wide open pocket for Hames to take advantage here. And Hames' last rock, obviously going to be a draw to one of these catchers behind the tee to take one here. Not really an opportunity to do much more than that. But you never know the way he throws.
Well, with Knapp laying 3, there's really no opportunity for 2 here. Yes, he could make a double, but it really no reason to do this. I think you're going to see soft hit weight here, David. That's not enough ice for a draw.
No, you're right.
So
John.
soft hit weight. Keep it on the broom side of shot rock to be able to flop in front of the second. Just a smooth, easy stroke. Back 4 waits the call. That's more than back 4 to my eye.
Sure is.
But curling nicely. We're going to make easy contact with shot rock and hopefully not. It's a little bit thin. Can they keep the shooter right there? There it goes. Rolls in front.
And that's perfect.
So a force of 1 for Knapp after taking 3. So mission accomplished on that end. Hammer turns back over to the Knapp team, and momentum still in their favor, David.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But well played. Missed a couple key guards there that really changed that end for the Knapp rink.
Completion of another end over on sheet 4. We'll look for a scoreboard update here in just a moment as they get ready to throw their first rocks of the 7th end. Got to say that this Hames and Knapp team really just zooming along compared to some of the games on the other sheets. Yeah, we saw that. We saw that score of 5. Scoreboard's up now. You can see a big score of 5 on sheet number 2. Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, I just wanted to trying to keep everybody updated. It's tuning in today on all the scores and other sheets, and as John just said, we'll have a score shortly on sheet 4 for you. Thanks.
Opening rock here of our 8th end.
Oh, we have a pick, John.
Oh, we certainly did, and that one was light. Sweepers were scrubbing just from the minute Jason Golubski let go of that stone and got a fortunate turn to drag it over the hog line. So a very, very high guard, and Don Knapp going to waste no time. And as we've seen quite often, David, bringing play right into the house, not playing the kind of club level strategy that we see a lot of times where, you know, center guard, corner guard, draw in, go behind the corner, establish the second corner. All of the play has been immediately right into the forefront.
Sure has. They are really making sure they showing respect for one another. And that one a little narrow from Stevens. Kind of missed the mark there, so missed that advantage as far as drawing behind that high guard. Pushing that high guard a little bit further out beyond the 4 foot, now opening it back up again.
So not a bad result all in all for Team Knapp, because in effect they get 2 corner guards out of it, still in the free guard zone. And now Jason Golubski asked to draw into the top of the house.
Oh, and sweepers believe this one's a little bit light, so they're on it right out of his hand.
Still no scoreboard update on sheet number 4 as they start playing still into lead stones here.
Wow, and Golubski again a little bit light on that guard. So again, we've got another high guard just off the center line in between the 4 foot and the center line. And Knapp deciding he's going to play behind his existing corner.
Taking the rocks in the center out of play by coming around the wide side of the sheet.
And this should be interesting, John, because this haven't had too many draws out this way, so the weight's going to be very different than the standard. And these guys are calling it right out of the gate, so they definitely see a lighter weight. And this one's a little tight as well, John.
We did have some takeouts played on this side of the sheet in the 7th end, but you're right, David, no draws.
No And this one's going to make contact with that corner guard, so maybe a
Not
little
enough
split
to push
here.
it into the house.
Maybe a little split. Now we have a center line guard and a little bit further out corner guard for the Knapp rink. And Hames not hesitating at all to go draw to the button call here behind center line guard from Knapp.
Jason Bryan with his first stone of the 8th end. Remember, 10 end games today. Hames calls him on for line right away.
That weight looks really heavy. Now they're off for line. Line's been adjusted. I think we just might have too much weight here, John. Not really going to do anybody any good. It's going to be wide open rock here, which I'm sure will be. I don't know if Knapp will go to remove this or leave that in place. Since it really is his friend, he's going to draw. No, he will draw.
Yeah, if he was looking to play the hit on that, then he wouldn't have swept it more to the back of the house.
Yeah,
he would have left
good
out a
call.
little bit higher to take advantage of a roll to the forefoot.
All right, so Roger Rowlett's turn to try to draw one here for the button on the right side.
Don's taking a little less ice for the draw.
Let's see what the sweepers think about this one. Oh, they believe it's got more than enough weight here. It appears to have plenty of weight.
So now Don's lining up to see, do we have enough, will it curl enough to come down onto the rock just thrown by Jason Bryan? It certainly does have enough weight.
It's
How's
gonna
the line?
It's going to be nose, right on top of that blue.
Just a wee bit of separation and another draw called for. So Hames taking a little more ice than Knapp called for on this shot, realizing that lighter weight will move harder sideways. Let the sweepers carry it home.
Sweepers are going to move this one. This
Calling
one
the
definitely
sweepers
looks
on
a little
again.
bit lighter, yep. Now this one may, depending on how this cuts, it's going to start to move. And squeak past this guard. Line looks good. Weight only here. No, this is going to be a nice shot.
Now in the house. Top 8, top 4, T-line, just beyond T-line. Back of the button settles in, just resting on the center line. Fully buried.
And now a few options here, John. We can draw another one down, or we've got that raise from the guard directly into the pot there. And that's going to be the call from Knapp.
That was a really nice team shot there. Good patience by the Brooms, up and down. On it early to hang it out there and wait for the line to develop, and then a good finish at the end.
Yeah, so the raise here is going to be, we're only talking T-line weight, a little bit more than T-line weight, just enough to push this yellow guard directly into the pot and sit on top of Hames' shot rock.
And keep the shooter right there as the guard.
Here the sweepers are on this one. It's curling. They know it's going to curl hard, so looks a little light as well.
Yeah, this is not quite enough weight to accomplish what they want. That's only, that's not even to the house weight.
Nope.
So a real miscue from Roger Rowlett gives Team Hames now an opportunity to bring another one into the park.
Yeah, that's exactly what they didn't want, John. They just guarded up their own play and really giving the opportunity to Hames here to put one right on the corner of the forefoot to really protect that shot rock there.
2 weeks ago, in this same situation, Dave, you would have been seeing Hames calling for the run back to clear the 2 center guards, because with the rocks not finishing as hard as they are today, there really would not have been an opportunity to get to the forefoot area.
Absolutely, and that's really the advantage there with the curly rocks, and as fast as it is sweeper's ice, you really can whip around those higher guards. Definitely play for tighter guards here, but this one's going to come deep, John. A little deeper than he wanted. I don't know if he's going to get the curl, but it is. It's finishing nicely. Nicely done. Slightly exposed, but much harder, much more protected, that shot rock now.
a really nice shot. If it had ended up maybe another inch or two, an inch or two to the right as we look at it here on this camera view, then there may have been an opportunity for a double by Team Knapp, but just enough cover there so that although they could promote it and perhaps get 2-shot stone, no way you're going to get the raised stone out of play. So now Don will look to clear the front.
Yeah, we're looking for a good clean peel here. We don't want to leave another guard in place, so calling very, very tight. And peel weight from Everson. And it looks like it's on the nose now, so sweeping to kind of pull this over.
Yeah, move to the opposite side of the stone. They're going to make
There
the
we
peel.
go. Nice peel.
So the front's back open again. Team Hames going to look to replace that guard. Very patient here. Lots of opportunities to play that tap up later on to develop a multiple score. But for right now, content just to hold the house steady.
Yeah, still early yet to take any major moves here.
And I misspoke, lost my concentration there for a little bit. It's actually Team Knapp with the hammer.
Oh, weight looks good here. This will be a nice guard, really in the sweeper's hands at this point. And this is going to do exactly what it should do. Well played. Nice weight thrown by Kessler there. Perfect guard. Really the option here, if Knapp wants to decide to go after this one, and he may, but I believe we're going to see a peel here, John.
Yeah, he's really going to have to because they got just enough finish on that rock, David, to take away any opportunity they had for the run back on their own yellow that's just off center line. If that one had hung out just a little bit more and hadn't had the finish it had, they would have been looking for the run back to either clear shot stone or peel off the blue at the top of the 8-foot.
Yep, absolutely would have been there for sure. And again, peel weight from Everson. Looks like more towards the right side, which is initially planned. Guy's sweeping it to make sure it stays to that side. We do not want the nose hit here, and it's a nice peel.
Really want to ensure that they didn't make contact with anything else at the top of the house. Because at some point in time, I think Don's going to be looking to try and use the yellow stone just off of the center line. We need to get Matt to talk just a little bit louder so we can eavesdrop on this conversation.
I know. Wondering what he's thinking about there with that broom tap. Yeah, so again, Hames, exactly what you said, John. So Hames really calling out that shot you just identified for the Knapp team with that yellow run back. So he's really more interested in drawing down to protect that port if he pushes his own blue back to take that double out of play. And that's not a bad shot for him. So he's got some options here on this shot.
So looking to lie 2 right now, looking to lie 2 at the end of this shot. Hames is 1, Knapp is 2. And then the Hames team lying 3rd shot, looking to promote to bring 2 right into the button area.
Yep, just a slight little tap. He doesn't need any more than probably 3 or 4 inches on that rock to really count. Line looks good. Now,
Yep, there's the max arc.
oh, and this one's over curling. Gotta sweep hard. This one might be on the yellow guard, John, and it is.
It is on the yellow guard, David. And it's going to push it off to the side. Will it be in a position where Team Knapp can use it? I don't think so.
There's a definitive jam there in the back, so there's definitely not a clean double on that unless Knapp goes after the original rock. up in that upper corner, which may have been taken away by that last shot. So we definitely have some options here. But that jam is very, very present. That's going to be a tough one.
I think what they're trying to decide here, David, is can they get enough of just over nose coming from the center out on the hamestone that's top 8 in order to be able to make the double on the rock that's shot rock, and it might be there. It's hard to tell. We've got Mr. Everson and Mr. Knapp standing right in front of us.
There it is. I was just telling Roger and Kevin to part the third sheet here.
So we can see a little bit, right?
And I think they saw me.
Well, there's a lot of thinking going into this one. This is a critical shot here.
So you can see the indication there was to perhaps play a draw to the other side of the button.
Yeah. And actually, John, I believe I was looking at that yellow run back. So they were looking at maybe tapping that yellow down into the pot as an option. But doesn't look like that's the shot that Knapp is interested in at this point.
Yeah, now he's talking about a little hit and flop, looking to develop something.
And again, as you had stated before, John, those with the ice and the rocks curling the way they are, those simple tapbacks aren't as simple as they were a few weeks ago.
So looking at the angles here, and what Don is looking at is, yes, there is just barely enough room to get to that rock, top 8, in order to be able to accomplish the double. But, David, if it doesn't curl enough, if he just gets nose, then what he's going to do is he's going to hit his yellow.
He sure is.
At the back 8 and wind up leaving Hames lying 3.
Yeah, he's really going to need to make sure this stone crosses the face of that rock when he makes contact to really push that angle the right way. If he does not, as you stated, John, he nose hits that rock, and there's probably about a 95% chance he may knock himself out of play here. So.
Well, and worst of all, the nose hit also leaves his shooter right there and effectively becomes a guard for the Hames team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so line is critical here. We really need this to curl over.
This is such a delicate shot because if it overcurls, David, then it makes the touch on the blue that's just outside the rings, comes back to nose, and still the worst possible outcome.
And he is wide, John. He is wide on this.
Well, chipping this off is not the end of the world, David.
Definitely is not.
The pro side to miss this is on the broom side and get your shooter to flop underneath your second shot. That's a little too much weight.
Yeah, a little too much weight, but that's, yeah, as you stated, that's not a bad outcome. That's not a bad outcome. Now, Hames is going to have to choose either to guard or draw another one into the pot behind that yellow, which is what he's probably going to do. Either way, protection of that shot rock on the backside of that 4-foot. So again, now this one, weight just as critical as line here.
And Hames really wanting to lie too here. Some other options that, he could have played the guard higher up, just covering a portion of the yellow rock so that there'd be no run back opportunity, no double opportunity for Knapp, or bring it just under the yellow with the same thing so that any hit on the stone that he had just thrown slides harmlessly across the top. But he wants to go right into the 4-foot, right into the button area with the stone.
He sure does. And I think his thinking on that, John, is probably get behind that yellow, so now it makes that yellow raise that much more difficult with the angle.
Sweepers really needed to be patient here as this rock took its time to come over. Now it's coming in. It's into the 8, into the 4-foot. Going to rest as a freeze up against his shot rock. Is there an opportunity for the high hard one to clear them both?
It looks like it, John. It appears that there is an opportunity for them to push that. The yellow may come into play, but if you corner that blue just right, you should be able to move both of them without misplacing yellow rock here in the back of the 8-foot. It's going to be tight. It's going to be a tight call. But again, we're looking for something to cross the face here. You do not want to hit this. You want to hit it at least nose, worst case, or more to the left, about 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock on that rock to make sure that you're not affecting that yellow stone.
Yeah, broom-side and nose is just going to leave the jam and the steel. They really need to come to nose or over nose in order to accomplish the double.
So here, with that line call, weight is going to be critical here. Not too much weight is going to leave that on that line. So we need a little bit less weight here.
But still enough to carry the first rock that they're going to hit all the way through the 4-foot. In order to score 2, they need to clear that one through the 8-foot.
Yeah, they sure do. The rock is off.
Sweepers on just for a clean to be ready. Here's the call. Tom Averson calls him on hard.
Line's tight. Oh.
Line is real tight to the guard. It's close to the guard. It's got the guard.
It's on the guard.
And that is the steal of 2. And folks, that's why the play is in the 4-foot.
Yeah, that's a tough shot, John. You absolutely do not want to be narrow in that situation there. But
so the pendulum swings back to Team Hames, scoring in the 8th end. 2 ends to play here in our championship final, and it's all tied up after 8.
Don't mind me, Bill.
just what we would expect from these guys, John. A good, fantastic play. It's just back and forth, just fantastic.
So updating some of our other scores after dropping 5 onto Team Schmidt, Team Sewell jumping out to a 9-4 lead. They follow up with a steal of 2 in the 8th end and now have a commanding 11-4 lead after 8 ends of play. All tied up on sheet number 4, 6-6 after 8 ends of play, and play is only in the 7th end on sheet number 5 as a more deliberate skip takes control of the house.
And it looks like Scott Lentz Rink is in control of that game, up 9-3 playing the 7th.
And so back to your championship sheet. Golubski's first rock, a well-placed guard, little off-center right in the 4-foot, tighter than his last 2.
And where's Don Knapp putting this rock? Into the 4-foot.
Into the house. Sweepers believe this is good. The line is changing quickly. They are going to hold it. It will go behind. Nope, they're not going to hold it. So they're going to let that one reside on the center line. And that one with a good 4 feet of curl as well. And I'm very surprised to say this, John, but look where the next shot's going to be.
Plenty of room to the pin with the guards well outside the house, so no hesitation at all. Jason Golubski being asked to draw right into the top 4-foot area. Sweepers are on pretty much out of hand.
Oh, right out of hand. They are down weight on this one. This one is going to end up more of a guard on the center line. Not much you can do with this one at this point other than making sure it's over and stays in play. It might not even make it over. It might have a hog stone here. And we do.
Boy, last couple of ends, Jason Golubski just losing control of the weight a little bit and coming up soft.
And I'm not a gambling man here, but I'm going to bet we're going to see another draw to the button call here from Knapp.
It's like the San Diego weather. We can just keep repeating the forecast every time.
That's right. And Stevens with the draw release. Sweepers are on this one pretty tight. Line is very, very tight again. And up here, looks like we're gonna hit the guard again. Maybe. No, it is by. We lose the handle.
We lost the handle and reversed.
Reversed handle.
So beautiful way you can see there. T-line just to the T-line.
And now Hames with an opportunity for a nice hit and roll back to the button here. Going for the inside out call.
Jason Bryan asking for just a minute after sweeping that Golubski stone coast to coast to try and get it over the hog line to no avail, and now they'll settle in. An interesting call here, David, taking it on the inside rather than from the outside in, as we've so often seen.
Very much so.
Perhaps thinking they have a little more control over the stone in this direction. So look to see the weight a little bit up as we curl into the face of the stone, a little bit outside of the broom. Now it's coming.
Nope, now both calls from Hack and Skip calling real hard. And it should be a nice roll, John. Nice controlled roll. Not enough, though.
Not enough.
Really curling.
Needed to
Quite
hit a little bit thinner. So after 8 ends of play and a score of 11-4, Team Schmidt decides that discretion being the better part of value, and a great run to the B final, and handshakes all around. Bill Sewell, the winner of our B event. Bill Sewell, along with Dave Cragnolan, Gary White, and Dave Palazzoli on that team. Dan Baris subbing in for David on a Sunday morning and fulfilling the lead role here today. Steps away with the victory, but just a great bonspiel for the 4 second-year curlers who played all of last year and then all of this year in the Open League. They played in the Murray together as a foursome last year and got drawn out of the hat for entry into the Mitchell, and what a joy that must have been. I'm sure that both you and I, as competitors, eliminated from the event, hoping lightning does not strike twice there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Leave that hat for somebody else.
Yeah. But yeah, kudos to those guys. They're a great bunch of guys, and it's good to see them out here as competitive as they are only after 2 years of curling. That's fantastic to see. So another draw call here. It looks like we've got an awful lot of weight, but line only sweeping call here. This one is going to be deep, but definitely by the guard. We'll see where this lands. I think we're going to be deep or out. And we are going to be out of the house on this one.
So now with play removed from sheet number 2 and sheet number 3, the adjacent sheet being now closest to our shed mite, we might be able to do a little bit better eavesdropping onto some of the strategy discussions here on our featured game.
All right, so Knapp calling Rowlett for the draw. And taking a little more ice this time.
And play still continues in the 7th end on sheet 5.
And John, just in case some of our newer members are joining, John had talked about there are 14 teams played. 5 will qualify for the Mitchell out of the Bonspiel. So
yes.
These 2 teams today are automatically in. And then the B, C, and D event winners. And then John said out of the hat, that'll be later today. They'll draw for the other 9 teams that were eliminated earlier, and 1 will get the magical 6th spot.
And Rowlett making a beautiful draw. Found the weight there. Tucked nicely behind the
Fully
guard.
buried.
That was a nice draw. Very nice.
And now Hames to follow up again with hopefully a slightly deeper draw behind that yellow. And Kessler release. Sweepers like the weight, but they're riding it now. Line only.
Hames is actually looking for a corner freeze onto the shot that Roger just threw, looking to develop something for later in the end.
Yep,
and now's
sure
where
is.
it starts to make its move.
And look at that move. They're on the top guard.
Boy, once it starts coming, David, it is just so
It
hard
does.
to control that sideways movement. Another 6 inches of weight there, and that would have been an absolutely perfect shot.
Yeah, it would have. And that's the thing. You really need to be, and these skips have done a great job at it, you really need to watch that line and call it early before it gets to its peak, because once it moves, it really moves. And at that point, it's just too late. So Knapp calling the draw again, now moving the broom out about another 6 inches, approximately the same spot. Hames dropped his line call, and Everson to throw this draw.
Still looking to get under cover.
Everson's rock is off, and the sweepers like the weight. A lot of weight they're calling. And that one is a bit outside, so a lot of weight and outside is not going to bode well for this one to stick around.
But if it's just back 4, back 8 weight, they could stack one underneath, fully buried underneath shot rock, but that one's not going to reach cover.
Now that's not going to stick around. That one's going right through.
So now, do you call for another draw? Yes, you do
sure
call
do,
for another
yeah.
draw. The other option would have been to try and play a soft raise on the rock just off the center line. Not sure from up here, David, if there's any kind of overlap between that blue stone and the yellow stone that prevents using it as a run back. I don't think that they can get to what is currently shot rock, but they might be able to use it later in the end for a stone that's on the left-hand side of the 4-foot area as we look at it from behind the glass.
Yeah, it could be. And this one's drawing down nicely, but not enough to tuck. It'll still be wide open here.
So rocks not finishing quite as hard as they were with one stone less ice, as we saw them trying to get just around the center line guard. Now with that blue stone just off of the center line, that little bit wider line, not finishing quite as hard.
Yeah, and a takeout opportunity here for Everson. Tight line call.
Tight line call, we'll be looking at a control weight takeout here, hoping to get inside a nose on a little flop under cover.
Sweepers on this one. It's very tight. Nope. Called up. Rock still falling out just a touch. And it did fall out quite a bit.
That one's going to have difficulty getting back to shot. Rock just going to make the touch, going to run it into the house and through in just enough energy to bring it through the house.
Yeah, Tom Everson taking a deep breath there.
Yeah, very nearly disaster, any thinner, and that rock could have ended up fully buried in the 4-foot.
And so the obvious call here, Hames to draw. Moving that, it looks like, John, they moved out a little bit more now. About another 3 or 4 inches out. And we'll see Hames release.
First skip stone of our 9th end.
And sweepers are on this one. I think it's a little bit light. Yeah. Oh, he's calling them all the way. This one looks to be close. Got to get past that guard. Looks like it will make it.
Now it is
dragging
enough to
this
finish.
one in. Is it going to make it down
There we
past
go.
that guard?
Top 12, top 8, just makes contact
on
with
it.
shot stone. So a nice position. Now they have an opportunity to use the blue stone at the top of the house
And Jason Bryan
for a run back raise.
is carefully coming out of his gripper there. That can get hairy sometimes, so I'm glad.
Well, it sure can. We had a similar situation in one of the games that we played earlier, where one of our sweepers stepped out of his gripper, did a face plant on the ice, and the other sweeper burned the rock, and big momentum change in the game.
Yeah, it sure was. It sure was. And I'm just absolutely thankful no one got hurt.
Absolutely.
And you can see both Jasons laughing about that one, making sure your gripper's on. Check your gripper. And now the shot you were talking about before, John, now actually comes into play, and that's what the nap rink is deciding now. Do we raise that yellow that is raisable into the existing yellow, but what is that really going to give you? Not a whole lot at this point. So they are looking to, draw in to really count as second rock here.
Well, we finally completed the 7th end on sheet number 5. And Team Moore did score 1 point in that 7th end. So Team Lent still with a 9-4 lead after the completion of 7 ends. And the ice is going to get very cold and lonely for them pretty quickly.
Yep, so draw's going to be the call here for Knapp's first skip stone. And again, not too many draws thrown down this side towards the scoreboard. So this one's going to take a little bit more weight than the standard draw. And again, I think the idea here, John, is really just making sure they count as second rock here. They want to make sure they get something in there to sit 2.
Absolutely.
But definitely tucked behind that corner blue guard. Leaving that thing outside of the corner blue guard is will offer Hames the opportunity for a hit and roll. But there's some other opportunity there still for Hames. So we'll see how this ends up.
With 2 blue guards on the wings, he has opportunities for runbacks on both sides,
He
depending
sure
on
does.
where this napstone ends up.
He sure does. Sweepers like it. I think it's a little up weight. Not curling as much as I think they thought, but this one appears to be heavy, John. Yeah, this one's going to go right through.
So really not seeing that we've got consistent speeds all across the sheet here.
And so now Matt's going to follow down that same shot and try to.
Yeah, going to try and go to school on that shot.
He sure is. Everybody just watched that one, so hopefully he'll make the weight adjustment here. Same line call. They believe that line was right, where the right weight should draw that in.
Well, certainly two very strong sweepers on his front end.
Oh, absolutely. The value of sweepers is undefinable.
They like the weight. A little bit of a clean
Oh.
from Jason Golubsky.
I think we've got a deep call, so they think it's a little bit heavy.
Well by the guard.
And this one's going to be heavy as well, John. Might not be as heavy, but I believe this one's going to at least go to the back of the house. No, that's going to go through. It sure is.
So Mike Kessler making the pro move there and sweeping it all the way through the house to make sure that there's no opportunity for Knapp to draw down to it and use it as a backer. And they're really going to be forced to play the cold draw here. The question is, which side of the sheet do you want to play?
And I'm willing to say they're probably, they'll choose the same side. That's two rocks they've just watched go down there now. Hopefully Knapp can make that weight adjustment needed. Doesn't have to be a beautiful button shot here. Just needs to be full 8 foot.
He's got about 6 feet to work with.
Yeah, he's got quite a bit of room here. The guard really doesn't come into play. So really this is a weight call here. This is a weight shot all the way.
Final rock of end number 9. Don Knapp delivering. Tom Everson in the house.
Roger Rowlett is waving it off. And
Hands
Don
on hips, and Don turns around and just really not happy. But now the sweepers are on, just making sure it gets by the guard. And what have we got here?
This is going right through the house with authority.
That is sailing.
Yep, so not a chance there for two, but one taken by the Knapp ring. All right, so Hames.
10th end of a seesaw battle. Matt Hames with the hammer, down 1.
So we pretty much know what to expect here. Guards, guards everywhere. Or Don may call it right into the house.
The call is for the center line guard.
Yeah, center line guard is typical here.
10th end play underway on sheet number 4. 8th end play on sheet number 5. Looking for a score update on sheet number 4. Did they hang the 9th end yet, Doug? Okay, so Team Schroeder with a 7-6 lead over the team skipped by Bob Kane for our C event this afternoon. Winner gains entry as Utica number 4 to the Mitchell Bonspiel.
All right, nice guard by Stevens in the first, for his first rock here. And again, Hames calling for the draw immediately behind that guard. Right into the house. So Golubsky's first rock.
Weight looks really good.
As you can hear, they like the weight. Sweepers disagree.
Work if you can. Have a look, guys. Have a look.
Hames telling them to take a look. He thinks it's got a little bit more weight than he'd like.
Yeah, a lot of room by the guard.
Now drag it now. There's the yell. Just counting.
So a little bit of cover.
And again, I think the fear here is you definitely don't want to go deep in this opportunity, especially on the Knapp ring side. You don't want to give them any catchers and make it any easier for them to draw down to that button.
Take this out. Roll your.
Kevin Stevens with his second stone of the 10th end.
And he's quite a bit narrow there, guys.
Yeah, I think the line was good. I think he just turned it in with the release.
Yep.
And once again, this rock is reversing.
Yep, we lost the handle.
So, could that have grabbed something a little bit as he was just crossing over the hog line? Because that one turned pretty hard into the running path and then reversed as it got about 2/3 of the way down the sheet.
Yeah, I think the key is, as Roger had stated, one of the things that you have to remember when you have freshly scratched rocks is a good firm handle. They will have a tendency. That one looks like it picked right out of his hand there. I'm not sure what happened on Golubski's second rock there, but something
hand slap
happened
on the ice, but they're still going to look to try and drag this one around the corner. It's not going to get there.
That one looked like it just turned right out of his hand, so I'm not sure what's happening. But that's 2 in a row. But back to the handle thing, John. It's definitely you definitely want to make sure you have probably a good 2 minimum, more like 3 or 4 rotations on the rock when you're throwing down.
Absolutely.
With those, so any light handle may have a tendency to turn one way or the other. So you can see Roger, a lot more definitive handle here, going for that takeout.
And this one curling hard. They're going to have to go really hard to catch enough of this to push it all the way through.
And it's a flash there. So Rowlett flashing his first rock.
So after a game of made shot after made shot, now we're starting to see a little bit of breakdown. Just a little tap. Looking to split up the house.
Yeah, the preferable shot here. Definitely a split raise.
Two in the house a little earlier here makes it easier to conserve that multiple for later on in the game. This one's going to need to curl. Weight looks nice for the split. Waiting for it to make its move. Now
They
he
may
calls
be
them
switching.
on.
Yeah, maybe switching this call to a draw behind. Oh, look at that come whip over. Well, that worked. That one came amazingly late.
So, aggressive in the double or conservative in the single hit?
Oh, he's going to go for the conservative. Roll one way or the other. This one
is
appears
more
to be a
weight.
little narrow.
Don had asked for a little more weight, the same weight as Rogers' first shot. This is a little more weight, so holding the line a little bit better. Sweepers on and off, looking to control the roll. There's the hit, there's the flop. Can it get under cover? Not quite.
Not quite. Good solid roll, though. Well, good solid hit, I should say. So we always joke and say, most important part of the hit and roll is the hit.
Absolutely. So now Jason Bryan being asked to to return the favor, make the hit of his own, and just with hack weight saw a soft weight hit. Again, looking to roll the shooter away and establish the deuce for later in the end. That's a little tight, David.
Yep, a little tight, a little down weight, so they're on it right out of the gate. Hames recognizing that it will whip here once it crosses over. Now calling him up.
That's enough weight for the takeout. Is the line right for the roll? Don Knapp getting ready to sweep. He thinks it's a little thin. Past the tee line, back 8, and through the house.
Not quite enough weight.
Yeah, and shot stone remains in play.
Yeah, not quite enough weight there. And Knapp to remove this blue rock. Get that out of play so that Hames cannot use it against him. And you can hear Hames talking to Jason Bryan about just putting a little bit more weight.
Well, I think what he's saying there was
less
that
line,
Matt was saying that he really anticipated a little stronger movement out of the stone with that weight.
Just didn't happen.
Yeah, and so anticipate, what you need to do on swingy ice, anticipate the curl, and he just overcooked it a little.
Yeah, it sure did.
So now advantage to Team Knapp with 3 yellow stones counting. One just behind the tee line, left-hand side as we look at it from here behind the glass. One center line and one is a biter underneath the corner guard. And Matt Hames asking Mike Kessler to draw behind, take the play right into the button.
Kessler's release appears to be right on the broom, but it's a little tight. And this one's going to curl quite a bit at that weight. And you can hear Hames reacting to that. He knows it's going to cut.
Looking to squeeze it by that guard, and boy, just up and down and maybe too much up and not enough down, and rubs against the yellow right on the center line. Fully exposed opportunity for the Knapp team to hit, and broom goes down.
And it really does whip. As soon as it comes across that hog line, you haven't started sweeping it by then. It's going to be too late. It really cut right over. And actually, Everson's a little narrow here.
He is. They're going to have to work hard for a piece of this. Oh, they're moving inside out. So, they're just really holding it on that
They're
line.
holding it. That's a fantastic job by the sweepers to hold that rock.
Absolutely.
Incredible.
Because we've seen so many other rocks move so hard back to that center line.
Yeah, that was close.
So the house is getting smaller and smaller here.
There's a decision here for Kessler's second rock to be the draw.
So the choice was the draw or to play the little bit of hit and flop. Mike likes the draw.
Yep, a little bit further outside this time. Yep, and calling it early now because it's going to start to cut, and it's probably going to make contact with that yellow guard. Yep.
Oh.
Slight contact made. Now wide open opportunity for the Knapp takeout here.
And because it was just T-line weight, there wasn't enough to roll it off to the side to try and get some cover of those corner guards on the other side of the sheet. So another wide open takeout available for the Knapp team.
And really, the idea here to try to avoid the tie would be to make sure you get a nice controlled hit and roll right to the button, and then force Hames to try to outdraw that to take one.
Or have to waste a rock with a clearing shot of those two center line guards, which he really cannot afford to do in this position.
Not in this position. Yep, so you can hear Knapp. He's saying that we'd like to cross that over and make sure we get that controlled roll to the center.
Let's try and listen in a little bit. We got a little bit of a conversation going on here between Mike and Matt. Tom Everson's call tells the story.
A little bit outside on that. Not where you want to be. But again, not bad. Most important part of the hit and roll is the hit, so that blue rock has been removed. And the obvious call here, the draw.
Yep, a little more opportunity. It's a little bit of a rub there from Mike Kessler's last stone. A little bit more of that button area exposed now. And what a critical shot. This shot is the difference between a tie and a win.
Absolutely. All right, sweepers like it.
Mike
They're
likes the line.
Calling slightly deep. They think they've got more than enough weight here.
Just a clean now. Sweepers at the ready.
This one's going to be a little too much weight, John, I think. This one's going to come deep. And Everson's going to jump on this one and try to take that back as far as he can go. And it is now out of play. So the best we can do at this point, unless something magical happens, I think we're looking for a tie here now. Got a couple things that we can do on the nap side here. We can either raise or try to go for another draw to out count. But really the critical factor here is making sure that that stays above the tee line. Whatever they do, it needs to stay above the tee line.
And about as much drama as you could ask for here. Sheet 4 coming down to the very last stone here. Dave, if you hit the third button there, I can show it real quick. There, actually hit 4. Let's try them all. There, one more, number 2. There it is. There's the house on sheet 4. And there's a little conversation going on sheet 3, so we won't miss any action there. So this is the final stone of the game here, or 10th end on sheet 4?
Yes.
Okay.
And I can tell you now, it appears that over on 3, the final shot from Knapp is going to be a draw. If it overcurls.
Okay, you can go back. Just hit the 1 button, Dave. 1. There we go.
Okay, so
Thanks.
final skip rock for Knapp. Going to be the draw call. And again, critical here, needs to be above the tee line.
Well, what's really working to Knapp's advantage here is it appears that the stone that is at the top of the house in the 12-foot is outcounting the draw that Hames just threw. So lying 2 here, they can afford to play a little tap on their own. They can afford to draw behind.
Oh, and he's definitely narrow on this, John. So they are going to go for the raise. But it may overcurl and they may catch the top one.
So they're going to leave the draw open for Hames to take 1 and push us into bonus ends here. And
oh, and sheet 4, yep. We just tied it up.
And sheet 4 is going
sheet 4 is an extra end.
Yep, extra end in sheet 4.
So we definitely have all the cameras. We'll get Dave. It's a little manual process, but we have all our cameras connected for sheet 4. So final rock of sheet 3, just a draw for 1. We could have.
So here now, sheet 3, Hames, final rock. Really just a cold draw, John. He just really needs to get a little bit more of the 8-foot than Knapp. Yeah.
Last rock, 10th end. Looking for the needs to draw about the 8-foot for the tie.
That looks warm.
Oh, sweepers are calling this one deep. We got a line issue now.
Oh, that's cutting hard.
Oh, I believe this is going to do it. Game is over. Oh, and okay. Yeah, that was it. So,
it's going to be a steal of 2. Doesn't matter. Congratulations to our A event champions, Team Knapp, Don Knapp, Tom Everson, Roger Rowlett, and Kevin Stevens. Rematch of last year's final. Now the 2 teams are 1 up.
That's right. Yeah, what a great game. Well played by all. That was
and
just
so
a
let's
fantastic
go over to
game.
sheet 4 real quickly. Dave, start us off with button 4, I think.
I think it was 2.
Okay, so try 3. There we go. So you can just work it. Watch the coffee.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Tell me what I need to do. Let's move the coffee.
Okay, so that camera is, let's see. Okay, now hit sheet button 3. Go ahead. There you go. So you got it. That's how we'll go back and forth. Can you see it okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So again, congratulations to, we're providing you some bonus coverage here.
So that was Jim Rischel delivering the first rock of the 11th end on sheet number 4.
And there's the applause for Team Knapp. You can hear it. Again, both those teams advancing to the. Yeah, you can just leave it on this screen, Dave. That's good.
And now Tom Platt's senior lead for the Dave Schroeder team, executing the takeout. Wide open house as Bob Kane steps in and calls for another center line guard from Jim Rischel. Lead man for the Bob Kane team, Bob Kane, Jim Rischel, Fred Hicks is third, and Mike DiGeronimo playing second.
And we have a handshake over on sheet 5, so congratulations to Team Lent. Our D-event champions, and they'll be heading to the Mitchell Bonspiel as well, coming up in a couple weeks. Scott Lent, Conrad Laud, Phil Citroniti, and Jerry Stevens. Congratulations to them. So 3 out of the 4 games decided, guys.
Center line guard drifts in a little bit deep, and Dave Schroeder wanted to have lots of room for his last shot, electing to play another takeout. Tom Platt Sr. being asked to remove this shot that is just in the 12-foot. Dave will want to roll off as much as he can here. Sweepers are not on, waiting for the line to improve. Wade is fine for the hit.
Looks like it's going to be a nice little peel. And clear.
Right, shooter goes, object stone goes. It's a wide open house for the seconds as Mike DiGeronimo kneels down into the hack. Once again, Bob Kane looking to establish a center line guard. He needs a high stone that he can hide behind later. Quite a bit different strategy here on this sheet than what we saw on our feature sheet, David.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
A little more wide open game here. Dave Schroeder taking no chances here in the 11th and trying to seal the deal with his hammer. That one very light, just barely over the hog line. Really working Mr. Hicks and Mr. Rischel to get that one over, and that's about a zone 2, zone 3 guard. Joel Shearer now in the hack for his first stone of the 11th end. And once again, looks like David's calling for a peel. Nice, easy weight. Rock
Well,
needs
this
to
one
curl.
look a little bit wide. And it looks like now he's actually going to call it for the outside.
Oh, he is. I didn't see the
Yeah.
turn indication. I'm a little surprised there.
I'm surprised by that as well. But a great
Because
shot
really
by
no
Joel.
need to develop 2 here.
Absolutely not. But to each his own. Everyone plays their own strategy.
So now Mike DiGeronimo will be asked to place another center line guard. And if it's not removed, then the play will come into the house.
Oh, sweeping hard again here. So Mike,
This is well over the hog line.
yeah, definitely.
Lined up so there's no double peel.
Now time to move some granite.
See, now here, David, I might be inclined to go after the other one because you certainly don't want to roll your shooter up against the rock that was just thrown by Mike DiGeronimo. And you really can't, you got to be careful of the angle on the broom side of the shot so that you don't make the jam.
Absolutely. You really want to make sure you hit this one thin, and this one does not appear to be a thin hit here. Oh, he did
Just
squeak
under.
by. Did squeak by.
So
Yeah.
a well-made shot. Shooter does just stay in play, acts as a corner guard, but actually to Dave Schroeder's favor here as it covers up shot rock. And now Bob Kane will decide, is it too early to go in the house? Do I throw another guard or do I bring one under mine on the 4-foot line? And he elects for the guard.
Now, in this one, looks like the sweepers are not interested in this one, so this one may come a little deep here. Checking up nicely.
But curling enough that if it is in the house, he could make shot rock out of this top 8. Is it
No, and
enough to
that's-
hide?
Perfect indication of sweepers ice there. The sweepers, I think, could have done anything with that. They really just put it exactly wherever they wanted it to go.
Absolutely, and now another peel called for. So you really want to hit this one as thin as possible to take the jam out of play, take the shooter all the way out.
So must be expecting less weight from.
Well, Jim Schaefer is not known
Schaefer.
for the high hard one like some of the other curlers in the club here, but a good smooth delivery.
Oh, this is shaping up to be a nice peel here. Got to curl just a little bit more.
We're sitting behind sheet number 3, folks. Cameras are looking at sheet number 4. Some of our angles are not as good as we'd like, so we didn't see that one was not quite going to make it.
Now you stuff one.
Yep, now Bob's going to take advantage here and stuff one into the house behind his 2 guards.
Third, Fred Hicks with his opening shot of the 11th end.
Oh, sweepers are saying this one's got a little heat.
A little deeper is okay as long as it's under cover. Make it difficult to remove, make it difficult to draw.
Oh, lost the handle.
Oh.
Lost
So
the
it must have
handle.
been that you only put the 8-end pebble down and not the 11th-end pebble. Is that what happened
Apparently
here today,
so.
David?
I think so. Yeah, we appear to be having some late end issues with handles. All right, Schroeder calling the obvious peel here. A little bit less ice this time, John.
And what's really going to become interesting as this end develops, David, is the difference in the playing conditions as both sheets on either side of our sheet number 4 here have become vacant, and the change that'll bring to the ice.
Yeah, it sure does. And this one is actually going to cross the face. We still get the same result. Plan B, that's fine too.
That is fine.
Both rocks cleared cleanly.
So still room behind that guard on the 4-foot line. Bob Kane with his first skip stone to the 11th end, looking to bring something under cover. Sliding down to the far end of the sheet, rocks in position, waiting for the skip. Broom's down for about 4 foot of curl, David.
Yep, sure is. Tighten it up from the last shot. So.
And Nakaya Jenkins, hello to you too. Commenting, you can use the recording will be available as soon as we're off the air here. So, or you could use the slider on the player if you wanted to catch some of the action from 12 o'clock today. Great feature that YouTube offers.
So Bob's shot is off, right on the broom. Looks like this is going to be a better angle if they can get it there.
Boy, folks, I don't know if you can see from your camera angle, but the shaft on Mike DiGeronimo's broom is actually bending as he just leans into this rock.
Wow, and as much power as they put into that one, they still quite short of the house. So now we're back to some different options that Mr. Schroeder has here.
Again, if you're just joining, this is bonus coverage. Our feature game today just ended. Well-played game for both teams. Team Nat victorious over Team Hames by a score of 10-7, but it was just a steal of 2 in the end. I mean, just came down to the last stone of the game.
So the strategic decision here for Dave Schroeder is, do I hit to clear myself a bigger path to the 4-foot for my last rock, or do I take my practice draw now? Myself, I'm inclined to throw the practice draw. I'm very happy putting this rock top 4. If I can put that rock top 4, the opposition is going to be forced to play some type of hit. If they roll off at all, I know what my top 4 weight feels like.
Absolutely. Absolutely, not bad at all.
And thank you, Burgle Bunny. Hope you enjoyed it. And hello again to Ducky.
So Dave Schroeder making his way down the ice. Dave using a knee slide delivery. For folks who aren't familiar with that, do you still deliver from the right hack, just with the opposite foot?
And really, I'd say probably, unlike most sports, I think my favorite things about curling is the fact that you can deliver in one of 4 ways.
Yeah.
That really extends your play well on into your older years.
So here's the draw. Ice out at the edge of the 8-foot. Doesn't look like he got all the way out to the broom here, David.
No, it sure didn't. He's definitely a little narrow and appears to be quite
very
light, too.
Very
And
light.
lost the
And
handle
lost the
again.
handle. So tight, light, and not enough rotation. That's just a death spell right there. And now
Absolutely.
advantage swings to Bob Kane. If he can hide one here that's difficult for the Schroeder team to remove.
God, I would almost toy with the idea of, don't be too cute with that draw, because the way we've seen, if he just gets it just somewhat close to that guard rock, if the ice is acting this way.
You know, and again, Doug, I'll tell you,
Is there something going on? I mean, that was a sideways move.
Yeah,
there.
absolutely. Well, when you don't have enough weight and there's
Yeah.
not enough handle, then you're really going to see some action go
okay,
the
so it was a
opposite
light
way.
handle.
But the big thing is, too, is, strategically wise, you really want to make sure you keep that front end open for instances just like this, because you don't want to give Bob Kane the opportunity to hide behind something, which he now has. So hopefully.
So here's Bob's last shot. This one
Stone's
also
underway.
looks a little inside of the target line.
Sure does. He definitely has the weight this time, but it may be too much, John. Oh, it should check up nicely. I don't know.
I mean, he's going to leave a...
Yep, now moving nicely, but that one's strong through the
Needs
house.
some breaks.
Sweepers are nowhere near.
I think that's our game, folks.
Yep,
Yeah,
we're not
that's
going
gonna
to need to
slide
throw
through.
a last rock.
And congratulations to the Schroeder rink.
So once again, with a quick recap, Utica 1 is the Don Knapp team.
Go through them all.
Utica 2 is the Matt Hames team.
Yep, Utica 3 would be the Bill Sewell, right?
Yep.
Correct me. That's the B event champions. That's Bill Sewell, Dave Craig Nolan, Gary White Sr., and Dave Palazzoli. Utica 4, John, who was that?
Utica 4 is going to be the game that we just stopped watching here. We just wrapped up with Dave Schroeder, Jim Schaefer, Joel Shear, and Tom Platt Sr. And then Utica 5 is the winner, I believe, is the winner of our D event, which is Scott Lent, Conrad Law, Phil Citroniti, and Jerry Stevens. And, Scott Lent, no stranger to this Murray Bonspiel, having gotten a victory himself here. The Knapp team has got their name on the trophy a couple of times. So some really strong entrants. I'm not going to say that chalk prevailed through all the games, but the competition went pretty much as you would have expected to go throughout the weekend. And congratulations to all the teams, all 14 teams that entered here this year. David, thank you to you and your crew for just fantastic playing conditions throughout the weekend. All the hard work you all put in, and all the thanks that you received are well deserved.
Thank you, guys. And we do it because we love it, and we're glad we can bring that good ice to you guys. That's all we want to do.
Really appreciate it.
And Doug, thank you for the presentation as always.
Well, thank you, John.
Absolutely.
John, thank you so much for coming down today. It was great.
Yeah.
And good luck with the out of the hat. You guys just stick
Right,
around for that.
We'll be battling for the hat pull.
Oh, that's great. So we'll be on the air next during the Mitchell Bonspiel. When does that start, John? Just give us a date.
I don't have my calendar in front of me, but it is the weekend of January the 8th.
Yep.
Weekend of January the 8th. So we'll look for the postings on the YouTube site. We'll have a lot more draws. We'll have some preliminary draws for sure, plus the finals. So again, for Dave Mitchell, John Jacom, my name is Doug Smith. Thank you so much for watching us on the Utica Curling Club channel. Now the one thing with YouTube is I'd love to have the closing music like we had last year.
Right.
But if you can't, you can't play any like MP3s from the it's copyrighted.
Well, so Dave's got a
let's
little
sing.
harmonica
I got to
tune
sing.
or something.
Then we're all doomed. Then we're all doomed.
We need to get someone here to take up the pipes.
That's right. We need some pipes.
Okay, guys, that was great. And we'll see you next time live right here on the Utica Curling Club channel. Have a good afternoon, everybody.